Here we go again. I sometimes can't believe what my reality is. Sometimes I struggle to sit here and realize that this is what my life has become. I think all of us can get to that point sometime in our life. For some of us, it might be early in our life. For some of us, it might be a very small setback looking back. But in that moment, it felt insurmountable. And when that happens, we experience what I call loss of faith in the world. It's one of the most devastating things that you can do to anyone, to anything, because it makes one not want to try. And what happens when we don't try? What happens when we don't do? Well, most of us believe that nothing's going to change. That's not true, but it's also not false. We've all been there. Each and every single one of us. So I want all of you to begin by not thinking about that. Because either that was the past or it's our current reality. And that's not today's focus. Today's focus is how can we regain faith in a world that only tries to destroy us, that only tries to harm us, that or maybe has successfully done so that we can do or just operate differently. So, to begin, I encourage all of you to join me in doing something what all of you would consider silly. When I say that, I make you think of something. It doesn't matter what it is. I hope in all of your case, it's something positive. Maybe a time period when you were a child and you were willing to take these risks and do these things. So I want all of you to join me. I am going to use something that has a lot of positives, but it also got a lot of sad things attached to it that never needed to happen. Yet today, I'm using it in a new light, for a new purpose. I'm using it as an intro. So grab something around you. It doesn't matter what it is. And join me in drumming. So I'm using an empty coffee canister. It holds coffee, but it had many other purposes and uses in my life recently for other things. But today, I'm using it as a drum. So join me. Today, we're defeating the final sin. Good afternoon. Today's not morning. Today, it's the afternoon. Changes. Small little differences. But why are we starting today in the afternoon when normally I start in the morning? Because we're going to take things slow today. So I'm going to take a bite of my food, and we're going to get started. So what do you guys think? Is it possible to regain faith in a world that only tries to show us one thing, that only tries to make us feel one way. And that, what is that? I don't want you guys to get lost in that, but I just want you to think of it as, it's as simple as, it's something that prevents us from having faith and believing. Because think about it logically. When we don't believe, when we don't have faith, when we feel like something is always attacking us, when we feel like something is always hunting us, or something is always trying to stop us, we naturally just don't do. We naturally just don't try. I challenge all of you to explore this. Could it be possible that if we're being hunted, if we're being attacked, if we're being persecuted, if we're being, right, like you guys, whatever makes sense to you, that most of us just won't attempt anymore? And if we do, there's usually darkness involved. There's like a revenge play, or there's a workaround play, or something of that nature. And that propagates what I call the cycle of revenge. But that's not today's topic. I'm saying that's how the majority of the world operates. We experience bad things relentlessly. So then all of us reach a state of no faith in the world. And for many of us, I just want people to know is that I'm talking about your world. But I'm saying it's just the world. That's really what it is. It's reality. Life itself. That feeling that you guys get to, that you achieve, is really just, you have no more faith in the world. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, some people are like, well, I have faith in the world, I don't have faith in people. I have faith in the world, but I don't have faith in, like, animals, crocodiles, or whatever. Snap moths. Things of that nature. And I'm like, it's not that, guys. We always think that it's just like a set area, like one specific thing. But what it is that something uses those specific things to create the feeling of no faith, of losing faith, of wanting to give up. And most of us do. When that happens, we don't try. We just don't try. And if any of us get to a point where we do attempt to try, well, we start focusing on the end. We start focusing on getting it right. We start worrying about things. Like, we just, all these like problems start presenting themselves, fears, worries. And it's just like mistakes happen, and we just can't understand why things just don't go the way we want. And once in a while they do, but usually it seems like it's when we choose like an easy path, or if we exploit or do something like that. And most of us just can't comprehend what it is. So if the only time we get rewarded is when we do those fast paths, or when we exploit, what ends up happening is that most of us don't slow down. Most of us speed up. I'm saying we all need to slow down. We all need to make mistakes. We all need to not worry anymore. Be afraid. Because if we understand everything that's happening, and we realize how things connect, well, then there are no problems. So, I want to talk about my reality, because that's where we're going to begin. What is our reality? And when I say that, I'm not going to talk about my personal one, because that's not what today's about. Today, there's no personal stories. Today, we're not going to use a lot of grounded examples, just so people are aware. Recently, I've walked that path. I treaded that path too much. Today, we're going to keep it through complicated topics, I'm going to respect all of you guys' intelligence. But why am I doing so? Because I'm creating for myself. This whole thing is an experiment, which is one of the answers. I'm deciphering something. I wanted to see if it's possible to destroy oneself, either by choice or not by choice. And then, is it possible to have a repeatable path that we could create that can make us regain faith in the world? Because once we regain faith in the world, remember what I said, it's not a specific thing. It's not, well, I believe now in like the plants, I believe now in the stars, I now believe in the phoenix, I believe in the lion. It's not about that. It's binary. Do you believe in the world or not? Because if you do, you operate differently. I'm like, could I find a way to do so? So that's what I'm saying. I'm creating for myself today. This one is for myself to listen to. I know there's going to be at least one person that's going to listen to it. But do you guys see? It doesn't actually matter anymore. Because this one's for myself. I'm like, hey, I know I'm going to re-listen to it. And when I do, I know exactly what I was feeling in every single moment. I understand everything. And I know why I did what I did. So that's why I'm approaching this a little differently today. That's why I'm not going to be using as many personal, grounded examples that a lot of people can relate to from their reality. Because, well, then I would be doing it for you guys. And that's a side benefit. Do you all understand? I'm guiding. But today, there's no excess because I've learned from my mistakes. So I wanted to see if I could decipher the question. And I don't have the answer yet. I think I'm close. I feel pretty confident that I know the direction that I'm going. Yet this whole stream, this whole video today is us just doing like one final battle against what I call the final sin. The ultimate darkness that is keeping all the demons here in this world that are making us lose faith in this world. And I want to see if I get an answer to my question, which I call the new eternal paradox, which is, can we regain faith in a world even if we are destroyed? Even if we've lost everything? Even if we've only experienced bad and still do? Is it possible to regain faith in a world that operates that way? I think many people, when they hear that, well, they're like, I was completely for that until you said it still operates that way. I'm like, then how can you see? Like, that's why this could be not only extremely valuable, but it also could be extremely dangerous. Because, well, if that means that no matter what anything presents, or no matter what is happening, if I've discovered a repeatable method and approach to always regain faith in the world, no matter what, well, doesn't that mean that essentially it completely negates all evil and all darkness, and that there's nothing that they can do anymore to provoke us or to make us respond a certain way, which will then cause the next chess piece to move to create storylines? Because isn't that how the stories are developed? Just so you guys think about it, it's heroes and villains. Heroes are essentially the slaves of the author, and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but that's what they are, right? And the villains are the ones causing the problems to make the heroes respond. And that's how a story is written, right? Think about it, guys, logically. Any story. So I'm saying, if I figured this out, and I'm piecing this all together, and I'm explaining it today, and if this is repeatable, you guys understand that means that if people can learn this knowledge, if this can be taught and spread in its own unique way for each person, but just the core concepts, it means that there is now nothing in this world that can be presented or done to force people to do something anymore if it's bad. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Today I'm defeating final sin. Because if this works, which I believe it does, but we're doing the final test right now, we're doing an experiment, well then, if this knowledge is taught and understood, there's nothing evil can do anymore. Ever. Because why I'm saying, I'm going to get to the answer at the end, but why I'm saying it's an eternal paradox is it's a choice. Because if everything we've experienced, everything, we find a way to then actually believe again, have faith, view the world as that there's possibility, despite whatever our reality is. Remember what I said, guys, it's not removed yet. Like the bad is still happening nonstop. Whatever made us lose faith in the first place, that's is actually the key. Whatever made us lose faith in the first place is not gone. Or we solved it, but we solved it through an unconventional way. Many of you think solving is, well, hey, I'm thirsty right now. I need to take a sip of water. Most of you conceptualize solving that way. I'm saying, could solving actually just be giving up the need and deviate the timing? Because what all of you are going to come to realize is the reason why we all got destroyed and stopped having faith is because we know what reality can be. All of us, that's what they target. I just want people to understand this. That's why I said it's all relative for each and every one of you. What I'm experiencing is going to be completely different than all of you. That's why we're going to get in a moment here and discuss the topic of what is your reality, because it's what we know, what is achievable, what it could be, what it was, or what it will be, assuming our skill set, we know how, we understand, we can achieve. So if you know it can be the phoenix, but instead we get a fly, and flies are awesome. They're water units. They're my army of freedom. But for many of you, you guys would be like, well, I would much rather have a pet phoenix than a pet fly. Do you guys see? It's like if you know you can have one, and you have this, you see, guys, it's that there's that clash that gets created in all of us, and that's how they target it. And it's not easy, because that's how they create the openings, and that's how they create the vulnerabilities, and then they start attacking and attacking and attacking and attacking and attacking. And all of us know that it either was different or it can be different. If I told you guys right now that I'm eating queso con salsa, cheese with sauce, and drinking coffee, okay? If you guys have been watching my videos and streams, you know that I do those things. I'm saying today they're not my best, but both of them, but they're good. They're different. Yet, you see, like, I know what my creations could be. I know what my coffee could be. I know what my cheese with salsa could be. Do you guys see that? That could be an opening for problems. If I never knew, or if I wasn't good at it, or if I've never had it before, well, I have nothing to draw from. Do you guys understand? There's nothing that I can use as a source to draw from, to understand things. So that means there's no problems. This is why our realities become what they are. It's because they target the areas that they know we can achieve in, that they know that we are incredible in. And it's not easy because, well, those are the areas we should be doing. Do you guys understand? Like for myself, I should have a girl, I should have a kid, I should be a guide, I should be a healer, I should be a leader. I should be teaching. I should be doing all these things, exploring, because I'm good at them, because I understand them, because I have the answers. You see, like, I know what I can achieve. And yet, so then if they just make sure that that's never my reality, and then they just, do you guys see? I'm just trying to break it down very simple for everyone. It's a strange feeling when you realize that, but wait, if I understand what they're doing, if I see what they're doing, and I have the answers on how to feel better or how to change things, well, actually, then there aren't really any problems anymore. Because what are problems, guys? What are problems? Like I said, guys, it's based on what we know can be achieved. This is my first stream. Well, I can't have problems. Yet there's so many of you, if not all of you, think that you're all you guys are focused on are what all the problems that you could have. And I'm saying, do you guys get it? Like, it's impossible to have problems. That means something installed that in all of you. They made you believe that you could have problems. How would you know if you've never done something before, guys? How would you guys know? If it's the first attempt at something, you just can't have problems. You just can't. It's impossible. Because you don't even know what you can achieve. You don't. And yet all of us in this world got destroyed because they made us think that that we're going to have problems. Preemptively is what they did to all of us. We all know our own throughout our entire life. And like, I just want people to understand, it doesn't matter how major or minor it is. The only personal one I'm going to use that's grounded is the girl from prom who loses her prom and is devastated. That's real, guys. That's 100% real. She lost faith in the world because of that. Each and every one of you have an equivalent of that. They create the events to make us lose faith, and then they repeat them, and they keep showing that to us. So, that is where we're going to get started today. What is your reality? My reality? I've realized that every so often, I need to do certain things to fight back. Because, well, situations are being created and presented that are forcing me to deal with things that no one should deal with. I think we all can relate. I'm trying to explain the situation so that all of you guys can just put your own variables here. We all are forced to deal with something, with things, multiple things. It's usually a few specific set ones that just, it's not acceptable. It's just not. There's no justification for it. And what I encourage all of you to do, whoever's listening, is don't think about the overt ones that are happening around you. Because those are just the reinforcements. I'm saying, like, think big picture. So it's like, you guys, what they make all of you do is they make us focus on the individual trees. I'm saying, think about the whole Black Forest in the Germany region of Bavaria. That's your reality, all right? So you're lost. You're lost in the woods. Lost boy in the woods. But they make each and every one of us, each and every one of you, focus on the individual tree. And most of you don't see how they do it. Most of you will never understand how they do it. But all of a sudden you feel differently. Or all of a sudden you're walking and you don't know which direction to go anymore. Or before the trees looked bright and you appreciated the breeze and you were exploring and you're like, it doesn't matter if we're going to get lost in the woods. It doesn't matter. I'm going to enjoy all of this. Yet then from one moment to the next, all of a sudden each and every one of us is just like, this forest is horrible. It's dark. It's gloomy. It's cold. I've heard that there's vampire cats here that eat us. I don't feel safe. I know we were going to look for that purple tree. But this is just, yeah. Why do we live in a world where we're just stuck permanently in this grand forest? That there's just, everything looks the same. There's things that are trying to destroy us. Things that are trying to hurt us. And it seems like for every step that I take, we're not making any progress whatsoever. All we're trying to do is get to the purple tree. Someone else is like, no, I'm trying to get out of the woods. I'm like, oh. So you see, like, we're all focused on the end. Someone else is like, well, I've navigated this grand forest in another country, in Antarctica. And I did it in extra cold and with snow trees, and I got through it in one day. So I'm frustrated now. We've been here for 1 week, and I'm trapped with all of you. And so forth and so forth. And so you guys see, like, every person is experiencing a different reality, is what I'm trying to get across. Each and every one of us could be in the same location, and we're each experiencing a different reality. And through the unique variables presented and the things that had happened to us previously, remember what I said, knowing what we can achieve, knowing what is possible, and we know how to, or at least we think we know how to, because everything is a new thing, right? The arena actually does change things, but it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just, hey, it's a new thing. Let's experiment. Let's learn. Let's take a step back. Let's see what happens. And yet somehow it seems like something in this world always finds a way, no matter what we do, to make all of us lose faith, to make our realities not ideal. You may even hear what I'm saying, ideal, but why should it be ideal? What is ideal? Because I am the biggest enemy to ideal, but I want people to understand this is the one time I'm going to make an exception. Ideal is just the removal of bad. We always think that ideal is, hey, I need the best coffee. I need the best bread. I need the nicest mug. And so forth and so forth. It's not ideal. Ideal is just, can we get rid of the bad? Hey, my other mug, whenever I touch it, it like burns my fingers. And that's just, I had really bad experiences when I was a kid getting burned. So, by ice. Could that be possible, guys? In Legend of Zelda, it is. I just wanted to make sure to do an interrupt for people because do you guys see, like, I teleported someone to the past by saying that. Hey, you had this experience, and when you were younger, there was a bat. You see, like, that's how they do it. Exactly what I just did. But I caught it. I'm like, oh, I need to help them immediately and protect that person from getting consumed, from getting provoked, because that's what happens. And I'm saying that's not an accident, guys, that there's things that happen around us overtly, but if they can't get to us overtly, then they get to us directly through mental insertion or through senses. And when that happens, they try to teleport us to those time periods of where they caused us these problems to make us lose faith. And that's what I'm saying. That's what our reality is, guys, is when we're navigating that forest in Germany, in the Bavaria region, each and every one of us is going to lose faith there. This forest is a forest where people lose faith. They're walking around and they're trying to explore. And each and every one of us ends up reaching that same state of just feeling like giving up. But not because they're using it to solve the problems, but because they think that there's nothing they can do anymore. They have no hope. They have no faith. They view the world as horrible. And the reality is, they're correct. They're stuck. They're lost in this forest, in this dark forest. There are enemies around them that are trying to hurt them, that are trying to get to them. All of that is real. All the things that I said to describe that forest are real. None of that is false. Yet, could they regain faith and operate in such a way that things change? Could it be possible? When each and every one of us is navigating that forest, they're going to find a way, is what I'm trying to get all of you to realize. Is when I say, what is your reality? I'm trying to get all of you to understand that we're all experiencing the same reality. It's just funny because just yesterday I was debating with people. I'm like, are we experiencing the same realities? Like, couldn't it be that someone is seeing this and I'm seeing this? Like, we're experiencing completely different things. And I'm like, actually, I was wrong. The decorations, the variables, the paintings, all that, those are different completely. And some are more severe and some are less severe. Yet, it's the same for each person. Right? The explorer who already navigated the snow forest in Antarctica is a professional. Yet they're getting consumed and provoked and losing faith in the Germany forest. And you want to know how they're doing it? Because they're making them think the Germany forest had a lower ranking, a lower difficulty. People were like, that's a much easier forest to explore and navigate. And they are struggling. They're getting lost. They're getting stuck. That's how they're making that individual, the explorer of Antarctica, getting lost, the lost forest. There's another group where these people just feel safe in numbers. They feel more comfortable when they know other people are doing an activity with them. They rely more on the team. And that's great. We should all work together and be as one. Yet, they can't operate without that. They are reliant. So, for them, all of a sudden what ends up happening is the people around them start doing or saying certain things. And it's reminding them of when other people lost faith in them or thought they were like not a team player, or when they were incompetent or they lost or like they made a mistake and they got criticized for it or things of that nature. You guys see, like, one person lost faith in the world in this dark forest because of their capability, of their skill set. They were so talented at this. The other person lost faith in the world because they're reliant on team player and praise and just trying to help people and being good. And other people are now saying things around them. So one person lost it from skill. The other person lost it from just what people are overtly saying around them, even if it's not directed at them. It would be nice to have some people here that actually know how to explore. Oh, I know I'm not good at exploring. I'm sorry. And that's all it takes. And now that person has lost faith. But yet, that person who said that overtly, the reason why they said it is because they have lost faith. Because they know that they can't lead and guide and heal people because they failed last time. Maybe they tried to protect something like a family or friends or pets or animals or the wind itself, the sun, and they failed at it. They failed because they didn't do more. And when them saying that overtly is them trying to defeat the reminder that got presented to them, because as they were walking by, they saw, I don't know, let's just say a skeleton leaning on a sword. By a tree. And there's a note there, and it says that they're sorry to all those they failed. They couldn't do more. They led an expedition here and they couldn't do more. And when that person reads it, you see, then they get consumed. And then they say something like that, and then they consume the other person. Do you guys see, so one person saw a skeleton, a sword, and a note and lost faith in the world. One person someone saying, hey, I wish we had someone like they literally could just say, because they read the note, they're like, oh, I wish we had someone that could do this. But that's just them venting out their frustration that they can't do more. And then the third person who went by himself is just like, why am I failing at exploring? And I know I'm so good at exploring. So when I ask all of you, what is your reality? Do you all understand that each and every one of you, if you're one of those three people, would say, well, I'm currently lost in this dark forest, but I'm an explorer. The other person would be like, well, I don't. You see, I could get lost there because that isn't the correct answer. And who am I to say it's correct? Because what I want you guys to understand is there's an underlying. There's a template. There's variables that can be slotted in. Do you guys understand that? That example is how they make us all lose faith in the world. It doesn't matter the specifics. It's based on what they've previously made us encounter. If every direction, there's 4 directions you can go in this dark forest, you see that person who sees the skeleton with the sword and the note, there's one in every direction. The person who got consumed by someone saying, hey, why can't you do more? There's going to be some kind of reminder of that in every direction. And the person who's just frustrated that they're not achieving because they are comparing it just to themselves, you understand? It doesn't even matter because it's just time. They just need the more time that passes, they just get. You guys see it's everywhere. Then there's no progress metric. They're invalidating their efforts. Everything they do, everything looks the same. They are lost. That is their reality. But what is their reality? Their reality is that they're all being made to lose faith in the world. All of us. what I challenge all of you to explore, and it's challenging for me to talk about this because my life has been devastated. So there is severity differences. Yet what I'm telling you guys, it's the same. And that's not easy to talk about. Do you get it? It's not. So there's a lot of people around us that are thriving externally. We can see it. And they've made a lot of sacrifices to get that. And those were intentional, by the way. But I promise all of you that each and every one of them still is being made to lose faith in the world. Yet, people are like, well, it's easy for them to handle it and deal with it because, well, they are thriving externally. And I'm not saying it's not easier, and I'm not saying it isn't. Those things temporarily protect them. Do you guys understand all that external? But why do you think they need all that excess? So what ends up happening, though, is I encourage all of you to think about it like this, is those things that people do is a response to the things in this world that are trying to destroy us, to try to make us lose faith. We all end up developing a set amount of counters and habits. I call them programs and paths that we walk that either help us or hurt us. We don't see it in the moment, but it's always in response to what they present. Most of us are operating on this world responding. And I'm saying that needs to change today for all of you. Because what is your reality? If I really have to sum it up for everyone, you guys are responding, and there's something that's trying to make you lose faith in the world. Each and every one of you. And they're finding ways based on your past and what they've created in you and your experiences, and they're targeting those over and over and over again. No matter what exit or what path you walk, somehow they always find a way to remind you of these things, guys. Each and every one of you. And they try to go more to the past because the recent things, especially if you've become stronger or developed, just aren't as reinforced, so they don't really have the same impact. But it doesn't mean they don't still hurt. But you see, they can be the things that set up the great falls that actually make you get destroyed, corrupted. So all those people end up doing things because they're responding. That's their reality. So like everyone who like we see doing so much external, or like trying to get praise or adoration, or trying to get more viewers, or trying to get more money, or trying to like, maybe it's even helping another person, to use something a little more positive. Maybe it's like that person in the dark forest who feels useless because they got reminded by the person who saw the sword and the note and the skeleton. They're like, oh my gosh. So they are like, you know what? Guys, I got this. All right. I'll take charge. All right, everyone, let's sit down. Let's make a fire, and we're gonna draw a map of the area of the paths we walk, and we're going to drop things like little breadcrumbs, or like maybe like, oh look, there's like these glowy stones that we can drop, and we can drop those to create a path for ourselves, a trail to know where we were, and all of a sudden, right then, the explorer walks by, the one with the advanced tactics, like, yes, you know that strategy? Yeah, you see like all of a sudden like things start happening. So now that explorer who was the lone wolf, who didn't believe anymore either, but hears that and is like, oh my gosh, there's someone else that actually understands how to explore and how to walk, because you need to know the path that you've already walked, but you also need to try new things, but you can learn lessons from the past. So now all of a sudden the explorer's like, wait a minute, can I join you guys? Like, you guys might know what's up. I'm like, there's just something different about this dark forest. I'm telling you guys, because let me tell you about, like, I used to be one of the top explorers in the world, and I've explored the snow woods in Antarctica. And all of a sudden now the person, you see, like, they're using that. Remember what I said? There's a response. So now they feel the need to do that based on the things that they encounter, based on the reminders that are happening. You see, this person has this programmed response, and then when they find someone that aligns with them, now they feel the need, because remember, they base it on what they know they can achieve, their skill set. their capabilities, their possibility, how good they are, their talent. So the moment they find someone that aligns with them like that, the first thing they do is they brag about what they can do. So you see something external. So many of us sit around and see other people that are like just externally bragging or have a lot. And it makes many of us feel less. You see, like, it's this perfect loop that happens. Like, one person does something to like fight back, to respond because they're losing faith in the world. They are giving up, and they do something. And that action is inspired that other person, the explorer, who's super harsh on himself because he knows what he's capable of. But now he starts bragging. So when he starts bragging, remember, the third person is the person who got destroyed in the world because of the skeleton and the sword and the note, and he didn't do more, right? He didn't take charge, or he failed to protect someone. So when he hears this, he's like, oh my gosh, this is insane. If I was like that other person who was such a good explorer, who can literally explore the snow woods in Antarctica, if I was like that person and had these skill sets and knew these things, I wouldn't have failed to protect my family, the wind itself, the sun, all these things. I would have been able to succeed. I wouldn't have been like this, the skeleton sword note. And you guys see how it happens is the response. It all happened because that first person who was feeling so like little, like they were just like, oh my gosh. And it was because of the comment that someone said overtly to protect themselves, caused the next person to actually feel better, the explorer. But that explorer's then response caused the third individual, the sword note skeleton individual, to be destroyed again. Yet it reinforced positively the person who felt little, who felt like they were not good. I'm going to stop there because it can get overwhelming, but I painted the picture for all of you. That is all of our realities. How can I know your reality? I challenge all of you to put the variables in that example. Holy shit. That's how they do it. Some things, I'm telling you guys, the same thing is a positive for one person and a negative for the other. That's why the specifics of what our reality is doesn't actually matter. Yet, when people are beginning this climb, this understanding, this journey of learning how to regain faith and how to defeat that, because really what it is, for most of you, it's a battle, okay? So step one is you have to destroy the things that make you lose faith. So you come up with tactics and approaches that let you do so. But what happens after that is what I'm realizing is it's not enough. Because you're healed, you're free, but you still respond to it. And that's what I've realized is the problem. And that's what it is, it's problems. They do so through problems. And because we want to solve problems. We respond to them. So until all of us cannot respond to them anymore, it's just a chain reaction of writing our stories like this. So what I'm saying to all of you is that your guys' reality is there's something in this world that is trying to destroy your faith in the world, whatever it is that you guys consider, okay? It's what they target. Because then if you give up, you don't do. But then when that happens, they present a few options that can temporarily make us believe. And they do. I just want people to understand this. They do. But normally they attach them to reliance, to external, to a progress metric, a climb that is very easy to see. Because how was that explorer from Antarctica, the snow woods getting destroyed? They couldn't see the progress. They couldn't see the progress. So when they can't see the progress, you see like you feel like how can you regain faith in the world, because you're grading it off of that. And of course, like, hey, how do we know that what would make us believe again? Well, did we successfully navigate the forest? Did we get out of the dark forest? We did? Okay. Well then, I believe again. I'm like, oh wow, look, there's a castle in the distance. There's sun, there's clouds. Oh, we made it to a beach. There's a waterfall, and there's like water here, and it's purple, and actually it's pink. And there's beautiful women here, and they're serving us coffee. Like, whoa, we did it, guys. Wait. So we're basing all of if we succeeded in our faith in the world, is if we got to that destination, if we got to the end. That is all of your guys' reality. Each and every one of us has the exact same reality. You all might try to pretend not, but it's real. Some of you just have an excessive amount of external that gives you a temporary shield, something positive that temporarily distracts you and makes you forget, or just something that has so much minor problems. For myself, I think of a video game that is like 30 minutes, and with League of Legends, and there's just minor problems in it. And when you play it, yeah, it's a mental reset. It's powerful, but for most of you, you don't understand what it is. It's just an equivalent for you guys. It's that these minor problems teleport us somewhere else. It's like, oh my gosh, my coffee is cold. And when that happens, well, we're not focused so much anymore on the destruction of the world, of our world. Right now, the biggest problem is that our coffee is cold. So we're going to talk about all of these topics more in depth, but I really wanted people to focus on what is our reality, first of all, because I never really pieced it together, because I was so focused on that, well, no one has my reality. I know that for a fact because of the things that I'm experiencing and the role that I was given, and I know that I'm being pushed intentional bad to teach me lessons and to get me to decipher things and deconstruct things. Like, is that happening to all of you? Maybe, but I'm like, I doubt it to this level. I really do. And I'm not saying that as a competition. I'm saying that I'm praying for all of you not to be experiencing what I'm experiencing. To know that something is intentionally just presenting nonstop bad to you, to try to cause you problems, to stop you, to prevent you, but also something else is doing the same thing to try to develop you, because they know that they've trained you to be able to deconstruct and decipher anything, and to be able to piece things together and essentially weaponize the darkness that's being used to destroy and enslave all of us in the world today. So do you guys understand it's not easy when you know there's something in this world, final sin, this like demonic being that is destroying all of us to lose faith in the world, in this beautiful world out there, to make us respond the way it wants. It created so that we then move the next chess piece. Remember what I said in the Dark Forest example? Someone responds one way, and it causes one person bad and one person good. But you see, now two stories are moving the way that the final sin wanted. It's not an organic story anymore, based on the things that got presented, based on losing faith, based on destroying someone. They could create then, and it could just be temporary. Do you guys understand? Just a temporary destruction, just a short-term loss of faith. They respond, and they can create the chain reaction. And I'm saying that in my reality, final sin has caught on, and is nonstop doing that to me. Okay? But at the same time, there's something else that's trying to help me learn these lessons, learn how to counter them, how to destroy them, how to decipher them, how to explain them, how to teach it. Or maybe just testing and experimenting to see, is it even possible? Could someone actually figure this out, how to counter this, how to piece all this together? Is there actually a repeatable path to completely negate evil for good? Because that's what this really is, if you guys think about it. I'm like, something that presents things intentionally to people to cause a set reaction, not for good, but for bad. It's bad intent. That's evil. Do you guys understand? That is what evil is. There's a lot of like minute details that we could get lost in, but it's essentially something intentionally is presenting things that it created a set reaction and response in all of us. And for many of you, like I said, it's just, I'm going to work more and earn more money so I can buy another thing. Do you guys get it? It's just as simple as that. And I'm saying that is what they planned. That's what they intended. And I'm saying that's evil, because you're not choosing. Each and every one of us is not choosing. And in my reality, I see that. Do you guys understand? I see what they do. I see every single thing, because I've been taught to. They helped me learn this, but it also, I believe that I figured out more than they thought was possible. But when that happens, do you understand? Think of it like someone surpasses someone's expectations. All of a sudden, you might be like, well, there's an opportunity here. Challenges for anything in your guys' life. If someone all of a sudden surpasses your expectations, we always immediately think, wait a minute, there's an opportunity here. None of us are immune from this. It's natural. It's a good thing. Because all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute, there's possibility here. Something good could happen here. Yet we don't consider that there's also bad that can happen. And I'm saying that the same things that get presented nonstop to me, to hurt me, to destroy me, to try to make me lose faith in the world, because they did in the past. I've healed all of them. I've destroyed all of them. I've overcome all of them. I understand. I've deconstructed all of them. I'm completely free because I don't respond anymore the way they programmed me to. I'm not chained, or there's no strings that pull me and push me in a set direction. I can choose every single thing because I see what they're trying to make me do, or what they're trying to make me respond, or what they're trying to make me think, or what they're trying to make me not do, or if they're trying to currently ruin what I'm about to do next. Like, do you guys understand? I know everything. It's not easy then. And then I'm saying that there's something that's actually, in a way, still they're self-serving, but in a way they're trying to help by getting me to master how to defeat all this, how to overcome it, by presenting the same part of my language, perceiving that's a response. Look, all this, that's a response. The same bullshit that they've used to destroy me in the past and still try. They present the same things, but they're doing it to try to show me the lesson, because there's slight differences in the timing and of everything. This is what I really realized. But you guys understand that it's like, imagine if right now, like, you have like a kid and someone punches the kid to hurt them and you punch them to teach them. But how, if I tell the kid right now, I'm like, hey, I'm going to punch you right now. But it's coming from you, yeah, it's coming from your dad, right? Boom. You're safe. Nothing's going to happen. You explain it. Well, when we know, you guys understand? When we understand A to Z and we have the answer up front, then there's no problem. If I say, hey, I'm going to do this right now to you, but this is why, well, then we're calm. It might not feel good, but there's no problems then. If I punch my kid and he knows why I'm doing it, he might not necessarily approve, but he'll be okay. I'm saying my reality, and I hope none of you get to, is that I'm getting punched, but I don't get the heads up. I have to decipher it for myself. Could that be happening to all of you? Maybe. That one, I'm not sure. I hope not. It's not fun. Do you guys understand? Because that means that 99% of the things that you experience throughout the day are just the worst things that have ever happened to you throughout your entire life. That's all that gets presented to me 99% of the time. And when there's not, I know it's the danger, because it means, why am I not only getting bad? Because that's my reality, guys. Yet, despite that, people might be, I've listened to like this entire stream or watched some of my videos and like, you seem like you're doing well. I'm like, I'm not. I'm completely destroyed. I'm completely broken. I have no faith in the world. Zero. I have nothing. I have no purpose. I have no reason. I have no meaning. I have nothing. And I see all the rest of you around me who still have those things, but I know are going through the same thing of there's something intentionally destroying you guys, but you guys let it. And I'm saying, I figured out repeatable on how to regain faith temporarily and operate. And that's what I'm teaching all of you. Because I'm telling you guys, this is me, Shepherd Star, the Star Diplomat, operating with no faith, no belief, no hope, completely destroyed, completely broken. I see no future. I don't value my life at all. And this is my level of operating. Some of you now are going to have the response. Remember what we said, the dark force. Some of you now are going to be like, this fucker, look at him bragging. I'm like, that is what I'm talking about, guys. Do you guys see? All it takes is someone like myself to do this right now. And you all have that response. I could give you all the answers. I could be healing you. I could be guiding you. I could be writing an in-depth explanation. And I know for a fact I did this so many times on LinkedIn and YouTube. Comments and comments, essays, just pure healing, pure answers. Zero asks, nothing in return. And I now know for a fact that there's countless individuals that the moment they start reading it, they get that negative feeling. They're like, oh, this person's like bragging, or this person thinks that he's better than me, or something like that. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? I'm just trying to heal you. Yet they can't even see that, because the moment they start reading it and they see this comment or this video, what gets pushed into them is that response, the thing that's trying to destroy them. That's our reality, guys. There's something in this world that is trying to destroy all of us and lose faith. And I'm saying, I can give you a comment, I can give you a video that has all the answers to heal you, to make you believe again, to make you be unstoppable, because you all are. And none of you are ever going to consume it or try or believe or think that's even a possibility, because the moment you start, you guys are going to be like, oh, and it's over. And the thing that's supposed to heal you, for all of you, that's how they do it. Holy shit. The thing that's supposed to heal you guys, they created a path there for all of you, which is a set response that prevents it from actually succeeding. They put blockades there, but they made you think that it could be bad. And I'm saying it's something that's meant to heal. I could give you guys the answer. These videos, these comments, my posts, all these things could be the answer to heal all of you. Yet, just because of everything that's been instilled in you guys and all of your experiences from the past, the moment it presents, you guys all immediately get that response. So you will never allow it to heal you, ever. And I'm saying, all I have to mention to any of you is that, hey, this is me operating completely destroyed. This is me not having any faith, not any belief. And I can still do this. Why can't you guys do more? Fight. Choose to fight for freedom. Heal. Deconstruct this. Decipher this. You guys can do this. If you learn all this knowledge that I'm giving you guys, and you take notes and then just reconsume it, recreate it, make it your own. Teach. I don't need anything from any of you. And when you guys do that, I promise you, you will heal. And you will realize, wait a minute, there's no problems anymore in the world. There are no problems anymore in the world. You guys have now heard what my reality is. I'm saying they nonstop present the same thing that's meant to try to destroy me. There's something else in this world that's presenting the same bullshit to try to help me. It's not easy because I have to then be like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, ooh, there's something here. Ooh, I could use this. I could combine this. I'm like this. And usually I only see it later. Do you guys get it? Like right now I'm looking back at certain things that have happened over the past week and I'm like I'm telling you guys, this is yesterday and 2 days ago, I completely destroyed myself. And now I know I got guided there, but at the same time, once I started the path, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Because I want to embrace what my reality actually is today. Not what I can make it be temporarily. Because that is what I'm trying to get all of you to realize today. That's what I'm really discussing. That is what I'm attacking for myself, but also for all of you, is that, hey, okay, most of you still can't even get past the part where I can't even heal. I can't even be free. I can't even remove all the problems. I always respond to when they're trying to make me lose faith to the world. I can't do anything when I lose faith in the world. I'm saying, can we operate in a way where we lose faith in the world and we can still operate? Yes, it's possible. But what happens then is there's a new clash that gets created. Just like what I told all of you, they weaponize the things that heal us. And when that happens, I'm like, wait a minute. Is that actually the answer? Should I really be exploring these paths? Like, should I really be temporarily brainwashing myself for positive and pretending that I didn't experience ridiculous levels of bad in every single area of my life? They've essentially completely erased everything I did over the last 34 years in the span of less than 10 months. Like, has anyone else experienced that? I'm sure maybe a few. But some of you are operating the same way, and you have your boss yelled at you for the first time. And for you guys, it's the same thing. The boss, the girl at the prom, the boss yelling at the first time is the equivalent of Shepherd Star, the star diplomat, my shepherd talisman, losing his entire life in less than 10 months. Everything that I built up. How could that be possible? And I'm saying it's real. So when I deciphered all of that, I was like, wait a minute. Should I actually consistently get myself to a point where I'm like, I do believe in the world right now? I do. When I'm doing these things and I set up the correct things beforehand, despite all the problems they were trying to present, I'm shielded, I'm protected. I've learned all this knowledge on how to do so. I know how to avoid all problems. I know how to be free. I know how to be healed. I'm not worried anymore about anything. I can control all my responses. I get to choose. And if I do something that I know, I'm like, well, I know why I'm doing it, so it's okay. Even if they suggest it, I can still do it because I know why. I see the whole path. I see the whole tree. I basically think of it like I'm a creator that's looking down at the whole forest. Like, think of it like a maze, a labyrinth, and I can see all the paths. So I'm like, do I really want everyone to walk right now that path? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. There's a good path over there. I'm saying you get to that point. And when you reach that state, I'm like, well, is that the correct answer? Because we're completely lost in this dark forest. We're experiencing horrible things. We are. Yet, if you all learn this and apply everything I'm saying and teaching in this video and this stream, when you're in that dark forest, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter at all. You're like, yeah, we're lost in the dark forest, but we're good. Our reality could be better. Yeah, there's possibility. Right? Like all of a sudden you see possibility, all of a sudden you think that there could be opportunities. Remember what I said, guys, right? That's the same problem that I have with the thing that's been trying to help me learn all this, is that they see possibilities, and I don't fault them for it, but I hate them for it at the same time, because it's not fun, because they see what I can do and what I can achieve. And I'm like, just think about, like, all of a sudden you're lost in the dark forest, and you're like, oh wait, we have the advanced explorer with us? What could we do with that? Do you guys get it? It's something like that. So I'm like, is that enough? Like, is that how we should operate in this world? We'll get to the answer at the end. But one thing that is evident is we don't need bad guys. That's really what I want people to. We're going to take a little break here. I'm going to warm my coffee and my food. And then we're going to just reinforce all this. This was a really good story that conceptualized everything. And I just want people to understand that we don't need to be lost in the dark woods to do. Most of you are only doing anything you all do currently in your life in response to something. And if you are, you're letting the demon, final sin, control you and your story and your reality. And we have to defeat that. We must. Each and every one of us. It's never the answer. It never will be the answer. And I hope that all of you take this seriously. I hope that you all learn. I hope that you all pay attention. And I hope you all realize that good is the way. Yet what happens if we don't get presented good? Then we're reliant on it. Can we still do without? Can we still do without, guys? I want you guys to think about that one. All right. Short break. And then we're just going to attack all this stuff one by one. That's a good story. It let me think about things a little differently. What is our reality? What do you guys think now, huh? What is our reality? Okay. Do you guys get a snack? It's important. It lets you chew on things. It lets you reflect. It lets you temporally process things a little differently when we do have these minor deviations. Something we're going to talk a lot about today. How we can solve things through deviations, and could there be other tactics? So I never really pieced together that, I mean, I know that I'm doing it, but I view it as the whole, right? Like I told you guys, I always view myself as I'm looking down from the top down view. Because think of it like, most of us are like viewing a camera like from behind our eyes, right? I'm saying, like, imagine if you saw your life from the top down view. So you were like, you're on the ceiling or the roof, and you got to see our life that way. I want you guys to start viewing the world that way. Why? Because then you can see all the paths. Then you can see like the directions. You're like, well, do I really want to walk that way, or do I want to walk that way? But when that happens, there's one downside to it, is that sometimes you don't see the individual things that you're accomplishing. And that's good in the sense that you don't get stuck or reliant on the 1% progress play, because we're gonna touch upon that here shortly. But it destroys us when we don't see any changes, any progress. But when you view it from the top down, right, you just see the whole maze, you see the whole labyrinth, you see the whole forest. So it's like one little step is not a big deal because you see the whole thing. But when you're down there, when you're viewing it from behind the camera, each step is a big deal. So the last segment was not only just the intro, but it was also the answer to the question. Like if someone asked me, like, hey, what are your thoughts on what is our reality? That's how I would answer now, guys. Like that now I've practiced answering that question. Now I can talk about that in depth. I would change it each time. Do you guys see, like, now I could talk? I did already. Do you guys see? But now I have something, an inspiration, a source to draw from as well. From now on, if at any point someone asks me that question, they might be like, hey, can you explain to us what is our reality? So do you guys see, like, how, but look at that, I'm laughing, I'm smiling, because this is what I call one of my shields. These are the things that I do. There's things that led me up to this, and there's things that I'm doing actively right now that let me temporarily forget my reality. Because remember what I said, guys, it's like, if we know what is responsible for causing us the pain and the problems, well, it's different. If all of us right now are walking around, most of you guys, actually, this is what's the case for all of you. You're walking around and most of you don't know what to attribute the loss or the problems or the mistakes to, or whatever happens. So you attribute it as a mistake, but then you look for something to blame. I'm saying you really don't. There's really nothing to focus on or blame or like, and if there is, there's things that control our realities through the mental slavery that I talk about in depth in all my other videos. We're not going to get lost there today. And those are the things that are actually to blame. And once you understand how they function and what is them and how they operate, well, then you really barely get mad at humans anymore, or animals or anything like that. Doesn't mean it's not still frustrating, especially if they set things up in such a way. It can cause major destruction and problems. But you understand it, right? You don't blame them directly. You view it at a higher level, right? Because you see the whole maze. And when that happens, well, it changes everything, guys, because now you know the things that are being forced on you. But for a lot of you, you guys are still stuck on the human level, okay? But you know what's forcing something on you. I just think of it like a kid with the parent, okay? Like, well, the parent is making me do this. The parent is making me do this. So if you know what is responsible for your reality, at least you believe what is responsible for your reality, most of us then start blaming that thing, okay? So we don't have faith. We lose faith that way because they attribute it to something. That's why, or that's why, or that's why, or that's why. And I'm saying that's the worst mistake you guys can do. Because if you actually saw the whole maze, if you could see things as, because so many people just see the overt. I call it think of it like the door example. You guys see what's on this side, but what's behind the other side of the door? Okay, there's a whole room, a whole mystery, a whole area of exploration that we can't figure out until we open the door. All right, and I'm saying that's what's going on in everyone's life. They present things that make us lose faith. They present only one or two things that are the target. Remember what I said in the example of the dark forest? Each one of those had their individual things that makes them feel that way. So they created those in all of us, is what I'm trying to get all of you to finally accept, is that those are not an accident, they're intended. Does that mean that it's fun? No. Does that mean that they're going to permanently control you? No. You can defeat them, but they always will feel bad. Always, always. So I'm saying the things in this reality created a situation where they present nonstop barrage of those bad things, right? We see that because we haven't opened the door yet. If you don't open the door, you attribute it to the overt things. Well, I'm like, oh, it's because of those leaves over there. Oh, it's because of that crayon right there. Oh, it's because of the text on the lion picture. Like, you guys see, like, that's what you guys operate or attribute things to. And that's what they want. Because then if they keep presenting those things, you guys can get consumed. What I'm saying is that no matter what happens from this point forward, if I say, hey guys, you remember when I used the crayon? Hey guys, remember when I used the text in the lion picture? Hey guys, remember when... Those things now have something attached to them. I want people to understand this. This is how they do it. So that means that they have to just keep presenting those things. Like, all of a sudden, I'm sitting here like I'm streaming, and all of a sudden, like, I hear a lion roar, and some floating text pops by. That's all I have to do. And when that happens, all of you get that response. All of you get that response. And since you've never opened the door, since you guys can't see it from the top-down view of the whole maze, the whole labyrinth, you guys don't see more. You guys don't understand what's actually going on. So now they have attached things to all those things. And right now, these are positive for myself, and I'm creating positive for all of you. Hey, this is you breaking free, guys. This is you roaring loudly today. And hey, you know that the fallen leaves don't tell the whole story. Well, see, now I started changing those things. I added more positives to them. But at the same time, though, do you guys see now there's other things that can be thrown in there? I'm like, what if there's a leaf on the ground, or if a leaf is falling? You see, like, I'm going to stop there, but you see how they attribute things, guys. So when you open the door, you see that there's more to it, because those things are forced on us. That's how they do it. Every single person. If you don't open the door, every time I remind myself about the lion text, I point at it. I see that's my response. That's my response. So I'm going to take a bite of my food right now. And then right after that, I'm going to remind myself about the lion. Oh, a lion. Text. If that keeps happening, we start getting programmed. It starts creating a response. And I'm saying that this is a positive one right now. I'm saying that this is an extremely positive one for myself. Yet, do you guys see that? It could still start creating a path of repetition. So every single time that presents, we do that. Every single time that presents, we do that. Every single time that presents, we do that. What if when I do this, it makes the person who feels so little, that's lost in the forest? I don't even see them almost anymore. They look like just like a little dot. They just like a little dot on a graph. All right? I'm looking at it from the top down. And I'm like, hey guys, lion text. But when I do that, it reminds them of when something bad happened to them and made them feel less. Every time I do that. So you guys see, like, I'm like, yeah, I see nothing of it. It's a positive for myself. And that is how they create the response. And I'm saying that is what I mean when I say they force the things that they've created to present non-stop to us. And if you start defeating them, if you start healing them, if you start destroying them, you start deviating them, this is how you guys can test it. New ones are going to get created because they always need to have the things that they can present at every exit, at every single path that you walk in the forest, no matter which way you go, which direction you face, that can get you to respond and walk a certain way so that then you can present the next variables that can cause the next people to respond in a certain way so that the stories can be written and crafted the way they desire. Final sin. So how can we regain faith? Because what it is once you understand that, once it finally clicks, most of you, that's going to be the hardest part of this whole journey for all of you. When that finally clicks and you open the door and you're like, oh my gosh, that's how it works. When that happens and you guys open the door and now you see more, you're like, oh, that's how they do it. Well, you first heal. You first reclaim control of the narrative. You believe. But then, now you see all the bad. You're like, oh my gosh. I decided to start streaming right now. And literally, let's say there's someone like in a hot air balloon out here or in an airship. Their name is Sid. And they're just floating right here. And they're just like yelling things and doing like the lion text thing over and over again. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And you see that. And I'm saying, regardless of if it was intentional or not by those people to harm us, it means something for us. It means something for us. And now, once you guys see that, because you know it, because it means it got created in you, it got installed into you, either through our own repetition for protection, or through what they did is that they just create presenting bad, so then you react a certain way, you gravitate toward good, and you see they just have to present the correct variables. So now that there's like this imaginary airship plane mechanic guy out there doing the hand motion that we associate with that, and it's positive. So now we're happy. But I'm like, wait a minute, that's going on? How could that be happening right now in my vicinity? The moment I decide to do this, the moment I decided to open the door. So now you guys start seeing that. And I use the positive right now, but I'm saying normally it's the opposite. So when that happens, we all lose faith. First, we destroy the things that make us, like those overt things that get presented, that hurt us, that make us think a lie. Like the things that make us think that we're less than, that they made us, they attributed the wrong thing to something. So like, hey, why is it that like the beginning part of my stream, the first 10 minutes, I was a little bit, I was still great, but I know it wasn't what I can achieve. Remember we talked about that, right? So we know what's possible when I can achieve. I already destroyed that, so it didn't destroy me. But an old version of me would have been completely devastated that the beginning was not how I would have wanted it, because I hadn't defeated it fully yet. I was in the process of defeating it. But I was under attack. Just so you guys know, the beginning of this stream and this video, I was under attack, relentless. And before I started this, I was attacked for about an hour straight by all of these kind of reminders. I'm telling you, nonstop. That means that I've been, and in my dreams, everything. I'm telling you guys, the whole day today, I've just been attacked because it's final sin. I'm defeating it today, yet again. But you guys see that all that was happening. So if I hadn't healed, if I hadn't deconstructed all the things that they present, if I don't understand what they are, when they present, they would destroy me. I'm saying all of you then always respond the same way, but let's not even think about the response. I'm saying you just get destroyed. You guys can't even respond. You just completely lose faith in the world, with just one or two, just a little bit of reinforcement, even just implying like, hey, is this happening, or are you bad at this because of this? All that has to happen is that, and I'm telling you, each and every one of us then get a feeling inside of us. I call it, think of it like a shadow flare, and it explodes. And when that happens, we feel a different way. And I don't think all of us have the exact same things, because I think they installed a unique one into all of us. There's probably some similarities, but it's something unique. It feels different, right? So for example, I think, just think of it for you guys like cold water, like splash cold water in your face, or dunk your hand into boiling hot water. It feels different, okay? So you know that for you, cold water feels safe. And all of a sudden, if you feel hot boiling water, you're like, ooh, right? Think of it like that, guys. Like there's something, it feels different. There's a different sensation that happens. And when that occurs, okay, that I want you guys to pay attention to, because that's what it is. Like that's what they have attacked us with. That's what they installed us in. And that feeling, just so you guys know, once you're healed and once you're free, you have no worries, and you've deconstructed it and you understand it and you have the answers. It doesn't have any power over you anymore. Repeated and relentless is still dangerous. Doesn't matter what it is, guys, right? Think of it like the story about, what is it, the giants, where the Achilles heel, right? Or if little ants just are attacking someone's ankle and wrapping all the rope around it over and over again. Eventually they can trip a giant. You guys get it? That's real. So you still have to pay attention to it when it's happening. If it's happening relentlessly and repeated, you have to then deviate. You must. There's nothing that you guys can do. You have to. If you don't, even if you've fully healed, they will consume you. I promise you. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter. So that's also then another battle. Do you guys see? Like you've opened the door, you see it, you understand it, you're healed, but now you're forced to deviate. So you're like, are they controlling me? Are they enslaving me? All those things are real. So I want all of you to understand that that feeling doesn't go away, but it's controlled. And because you understand it, you know it's wrong, you're safe. So then you're like, yes, finally, I'm healed. I believe, I have faith in the world. Things are starting to go better. Most of us then, what we did is we found something that could help us overcome that feeling, okay? We attached it to an external. We were reliant on something. So maybe for some, what helps me overcome that feeling that they used is I drink coffee, or maybe it was attached to a beautiful girl or something. And if at any point I don't have coffee or I don't have the beautiful girl, well then I can't deal with it, or I can get destroyed again through those things. So they could destroy me through coffee or through the beautiful girl if at any point something bad happens there. I want people to understand that. That's how they do it. Yet, when you're in that situation, you finally have faith again. You finally believe because now you're healed. Now you deconstructed. You understand. You're like, oh my gosh, all the things that were plaguing me and bothering me are gone now. Now I can start living. Many of you will start living. And you will have short-term success. And I said, if they don't destroy you again through the things that healed you, the final play that happens from final sin is that they are like, okay, well, now you see it all. Well, then we're going to keep forcing you to see it everywhere you go, no matter what. Because what do you guys now know? It's wrong. It's a lie. It's bullshit. It's bad. But what is actually the underlying of all that? Because so many of us would get stuck there. Is you're like, yeah. But what actually is happening, guys, is the reason why it's being presented to that excess and just repeated nonstop is not because they know they can't trick you anymore. Because that's what it is, guys, right? They trick you into believing a lie that they installed in you, so they can always get the set reaction, the set provocation, the set response that they want when they need it to get you to write the story that they are looking to write. Once you see that and defeat that, what ends up happening is, well, they have to just show you bad everywhere. Because now that's going to make you not believe. Because remember what I said, guys, now you see it. Now you're looking from the top down. So think of it like you see all of a sudden a little like, think of it like Pac-Man, guys, okay? Or like the snake game, one of those. And you just see it on its way to the dots that you know are your characters that you guys are playing or part of your group. You see it on the way. You're like, oh my gosh, guys, there's an enemy on the way. There's an attack on the way. And people are like, what? They don't even see it. They're like, I don't see anything. And all of a sudden, the advanced explorer guy shows up. Wait, that was the Pac-Man? That was the snake? That was the enemy? What? And they're like, hey guys, so yeah, I'm from Antarctica. And you're like, oh my god, that was the Pac-Man. You see, like, there's most people don't see it. They are protected from that in a way. They don't understand that that actually was the attack. So there's some problems to healing and understanding everything, guys. But the benefits far outweigh and the negatives. But this is the next part, the next stage of the battle against each of one of yours final sin. You each all have to do this battle, this climb. Is that then you see every single attack, every single thing. You're like, wow, they actually are just presenting bad everywhere. And I was like, why would they do that? Like, just so people understand, I'm being extremely blatant here of my journey. I just couldn't comprehend it. I'm like, are they these things that are trying to poison us, this final sin that's trying to destroy me yet again? Why would it use the same things that it knows that I've defeated, that I know now with 1,000,000% certainty was them, and I know is wrong? Like, why would they still be using that? Of course, it's always going to be annoying, but I'm like, there's no way because annoyance is not sufficient. You guys understand? Annoyance is just there to lower your shields. But I call it, like, in video game terminology, for like a healer, for anyone who plays like a game that you can use heal other people, I call it chip damage. So chip damage, what it is it's little bit of damage that happens every so often. It's not actually meant to be the main harm, but what it is it's meant to get you to a certain threshold, a certain range of health remaining, or your shield, so that then when the big blow happens or the big attack happens, you die, you lose, you get game over. Or then, because the chip damage, you didn't heal, you didn't react, you didn't respond, because you know you shouldn't respond to everything during the chip damage phase, because you're just like, yeah, whatever, it's ignorable. It's just one damage, whatever. I can heal it all in one go, 10 minutes from now, no problem. So you wait. So then what happens, and all of a sudden a surprise, remember what I said, guys, the punch, and you didn't see it coming, it happens. It's always going to happen. We can't avoid and prevent everything, because otherwise, well, there's no game of life. If we saw everything, we could foresee the entire future. We get hit. It doesn't one-shot us. We still survive. Yet, now we're at like 10% health. And when we're at 10% health, what does that mean we have to do? Now, we have to heal. Now, we have to respond. Now, we have to walk a certain way. We were going to walk, remember, top-down view of the maze, we were going to walk the direction to the top left. Now, we don't have a choice anymore, because when we go there, there's a lot of like little spikes and thorns on the ground, and if we step on them, like, we don't have shoes, so you feel the pain, and all of a sudden there's like a little lava, and I don't know, right? So now we can't go that path anymore, because every time we step on the thorns, it's chip damage. We take 1 damage. I'm like, that means there's 10 thorns in the first 5 seconds of the path. We can't even walk 5 seconds. Guys, we either have to now set up a camp with Frey and some cats and recover and heal our wounds, or how about we check out this other path? Oh yeah, there's no thorns this way, and we slowly recover by walking and overcoming easier enemies and easier foes. Oh, okay, yeah, let's walk to the owl then. Yeah, let's do that. But the lie. Now let's talk to the owl. Do you guys see that? I couldn't piece it together before. Why? There's so much relentless. I understood that this is some advanced knowledge, just for people who are following along, that they're seasoning, that they're trying to make us talk about specific things, and that's one of the challenges that I'm overcoming today, just so people understand. I'm taking it slow. I'm trying to take it calm. I'm flaring up at the correct time, not as a response, protection, or anger, but to deliver the message with the emphasis that I want. It's not easy. You guys understand? Because they've been trying to start a lot of paths, and I've been walking into many of them, and I think they've been getting happy and scared at the same time because it's not working. But I'm using it for good today. So that's the reason, because I'm just slow. I'm calm. I learned the first segment. I was learning their attacks and what they were doing and how they were doing it. So I couldn't really piece together why they were just doing relentless. I just couldn't figure it out, because I'm like, okay, annoyance. Now I understand the chip damage one. Like, they were trying to force my response to set things. Do you guys understand? But then I have to heal. Then I have to do something. So then my path is controlled. But there was one other thing that I didn't see before. It didn't make sense to me, because that one I pieced together after pretty quickly. I'm like, okay, that one makes sense too. Enough little damage adds up. They can break my shield, and shield just protects us. I'm like, what is it then? What is it? What is it? I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, oh, they know. We know. I challenge all of you to explore this. When we know what is responsible, like I said, there's things in this world, something invisible that's unseen, that can do these, insert direct reminders or create overt events to present the senses and info that they want to make us remind us of those things, right? Like I said, the door, to present those forced reminders. Most of us attribute it to like a human or to something else. I'm saying it's them. But for most of you, you aren't there yet, so just think of it like whatever, when you finally piece together that something or someone, or like, hey, who broke the cookie jar? Example, something like that, guys, okay? And I'm like, wow, I know it's them. I know it's responsible. So I realized then that was actually the final play from the final sin. That was their final attack. I just couldn't understand what it was that they were doing. And I'm like, oh, they know they're never going to fully consume me again. They know that. They know that they can force me to respond eventually. That's real. They know they can force me to deviate. That's real. But I'm like, what is that they're really trying to do? I just couldn't figure it out. I'm telling you guys, now it's obvious. But you see, guys, that's the thing. Until we see it, until we understand it, until we have the answers, and until it all connects, A to Z, there's problems because it's not solved yet. And there's other ways to solve them. We're going to get into that here shortly. But I just couldn't figure it out. And now I'm like, wait a minute. Now it makes sense. They were destroying my faith in the world through relentless. Not to consume me, not to poison me again. If they did, just so you guys understand, they're like, oh my God, it succeeded. We poisoned him again. Like, you see, they would get happy about that. But they knew that there was like a 0.1% chance that they could succeed, because I've learned too many things. So I was like, why would they still be wasting their time doing that? And I'm like, now it makes sense. Because once you recognize attacks, once you recognize bad, if everywhere you go, think about it like this, guys. In the Dark Force example, the individual who got consumed by the skeleton, the note, and the sword. Every path they walk now, they have the owl path, the lion text path, the thorn path, whatever path, it doesn't matter. There's a skeleton, a sword, and a note on every single path. You see, like, it doesn't matter if they came to believe again because of other variables that happen. It doesn't matter. Like, maybe they're like, nope, I know exactly what to do still to believe, to have hope. We're going to get through this forest because I know it's not about the end. We don't have to get through this experience, this journey. Like, there's light, there's hope. I'm like, look, there's a little bird up there. They found a way to survive here too. We got this. Yet everywhere they look, they see the frickin' owl, the knight, or not the owl, the skeleton, the sword, and the note. And they just can't understand it. Because that's what I'm saying. It's force, guys, okay? But once you open the door, this is the next play. It gets even more relentless. Right now, they barely have to try for all of you. It gets more relentless once you open the door and see it. And it's because they're not trying to reconsume you and poison you. They're trying to make you lose faith in the world, because all you see then is like, well, they're just bad. The world is just bad everywhere, in every single thing. You guys have no idea to the level they can escalate it to. And I hope They never do for any of your guys' reality. But the underlying is going to be the same for you guys. That's what we talked about in the first segment. The severity, I pray, I really do, that each and every one of you never reaches the severity that I've reached. Yet, it's going to be exactly the same for all of you. Once you see it, they're going to find a way to present it everywhere, all the bad for you guys, okay? Because they know it won't destroy you anymore. But now they're trying to make you lose faith in the world. And I'm saying, if I challenge all of you to, now that you've heard this explanation, to re-explore it. Can we have faith in the world if we know what's responsible? If they know they're forcing it upon us, like what we consider bad, and we see it everywhere. Like, if it happens once in a while, you guys see it's not a problem. But when you know it's everywhere and it's intentional, that's when we lose faith, guys. Because then you're like, holy shit. I'm saying, if you know what is responsible and you recognize what is actually an attack. Remember when I said, what is the Pac-Man? You're like, wait, the fellow individual saying that was the Pac-Man? I'm like, oh my God. Like, most of you guys are protected right now from that because you haven't opened the door yet. So there are downsides, but I'm telling you guys, the freedom, being healed, not being worried, being calm, being zen, being able to always choose every single response, and just not having problems anymore is going to change everything. Because then, even without any positives presented to you, we are going to all learn how to create our own, but without any positives presented to you or given to you, you can reach a state of regaining temporarily faith in the world. And at the end, we're going to answer the question, is that worth it? Is that worth it? Is it? I'm telling you guys, it's all based on the frequency. The frequency of bad. If you guys don't like it when I sip my coffee, and I only sip it twice in this entire stream, well, that's not really a problem, is it? But what if I take 2,000 sips? Changes things. All right. So I'm telling you guys, once we see all this, we get to a point where we've opened the door and we see everything that lies beyond the door. Now it all makes sense. And we're going to get lost, each and every one of us. That's normal. For the first time, though, I encourage all of you to get lost. Because now you realize it's not a mistake anymore. These are the best parts. So throughout the rest of the stream, however much time I go, I'm going to periodically look at my notes. Normally I wouldn't do that anymore. But why? I'm just like, just for a little burst of inspiration. But then I'm like, where does it take me? Like, those are the best parts. When I get lost and just talk about things and use random examples and add things that I didn't think I was going to use. And it's just, those are the parts that make this world better. Those are things that help us have faith in the world, despite anything they do. But what if, guys, I needed that? Because, hey, they presented the bad. Now I see it all. I self-created these things. I created these paths on how to do these things in these streams and these talks and the tactics and how to do so. What if I needed that now? What if I needed that? Or else I'll have no faith. I won't believe anymore. My reality's horrible. I guess I'm just going to operate the way my reality actually is. I'm justified to do so, just so you guys understand. I really am. And each and all one of you are in your own way. If those people, those explorers give up navigating the dark forest because too many Pac-Mans presented, they're justified. They are. But what if they figured out some positives that they self-created or something helped them create it? And they can just keep doing those and, well, now they're good. What if they start getting weaponized? What if they start getting attacked? When they do those things. I say that each thing that we create, each thing that we use that helps us gets corrupted. That's not an accident, by the way, guys. Every single thing. Anything. Anything that we try. Through the most unsuspecting methods, by the way, guys. Sometimes it could be through praise. Sometimes it could be through attacks. But they try to corrupt things. And if you don't see it, that's what I'm saying. Like, once you open the door, you guys see what's happening. And you understand what's happening. You're like, oh. But until that happens, things start getting corrupted. And from one moment to the next, like either a sufficient repetition occurred or a situation presented itself and you don't feel as good anymore. Or you don't feel like trying anymore. You don't feel like believing anymore. And you're like, well, this used to protect me, or I used to have fun doing this, or I used to enjoy this, or this used to heal me, or it used to do this. And then all of a sudden you start like analyzing and you start like you get lost in something. You're like, well, is this better, or is this better, or that? And you're like, does it really matter? Like, what's the purpose for it? Why are we using this? What are we trying to do right now? Why am I streaming? Oh, I'm trying to explain something to heal people. Is the side benefit. This one's for myself. I'm having fun with it. Now, I had it from the beginning, but I had to defeat that in the first few minutes. I'm going to re-listen to this. This is great. We're defeating Final Sin, and I'm going to listen to it with the song playing, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to make me feel powerful. It's going to make me feel like I know that I've defeated it. But it's also going to make me contemplate the question that just so people really understand, and this is for me right now, Shepherd Star Diplomat, the Dark Knight. I battle. This is the reason. Like, you see, like, we figure out why we're doing it. I'm like, I battle every single day. I'm like, should I positively brainwash myself? Should I try again? Should I try more? I still don't know, guys. Like, you guys see, like, there's so many things I still don't know because of what they've done to my reality. Like, it doesn't operate by following the regular rules anymore. So I'm like, what can I actually do and what can't I? I really don't know anymore, guys. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, I don't need to be focused on the parts that I don't know. What do I do know? So I was always trying to decipher what it was that is like keeping me stuck. And I realized it was the question. I'm like, should I actually be consistently brainwashing myself now that I learned how to do this? To positive. No, I have positive shields, positive paths. I know the set things. I've identified the things. I now know how to. I broke free. I cut all my strings. I broke all my links. I broke all my chains. I destroyed all the locks. I'm completely free. I've deconstructed everything. I've deciphered everything. I've figured out everything. I now know how to eliminate all problems. I've now defeated how they were making me lose faith again in the world. It's not easy. That one is extremely challenging, right? Because it's just everywhere you look, they do so. But I'm like, okay. But there was one thing on why am I doing this today? I'm like, oh, I'm trying to decipher. And you guys see, like, I can change my mind. Every time I re-listen to this, I can be like, I want to consider it again. I want to think about whether or not it's worth it to, like, try, whether it's worth it to explore, whether it's worth it to believe and have faith in this world. Because, like I said in the beginning, guys, we only will do if we have faith in the world. Just for a little positive for myself, like, I want another girlfriend. I want to have a kid with her. I want pets. I want to explore the world with her, my kid, and pets. That's what I want. Yet I realized desire is dangerous. So I defeat it. I don't need it anymore. There's no time required anymore. Obviously, I'd rather have it today or tomorrow than a year or 2 or 5 from now. But I defeated all that. But I'm like, if it happens, it happens. That's still the play. Do you guys see? But there came a point where I'm like, well, maybe I should just completely take a step back. And I still think that's good. But I'm like, if I completely give up though, because I don't think that this world is even worth living in anymore. Do you guys see? Like, what I'm trying to decipher is I'm like, I know how to make myself have faith whenever. Yet I'm saying my reality doesn't change. That's not a difficult one for people to conceptualize, because most people only have faith if their reality changes. You guys tie faith, which equals being able to do anything, just so you guys know, anything. Learn anything, try anything, do anything. You guys need A to do B. That's what you guys need. And I'm saying, can we get to the point where we can do B without A? Is it possible? I believe it is. I know it is. Yet, it's not easy. And that's what I've been trying to figure out, though. I'm like, is it a good idea to essentially temporarily trick myself to feeling like, because that's essentially what it is, guys, just so people understand, that's the answer, is you feel like you believe in the world again, right? When you look around, you're like, the world is awesome. This forest is bright. There's water, there's birds flying around, there's butterflies, there's stars that show up and like talk to us, and everything looks really bright and good. Why is this the dark forest? This isn't the dark forest. And that's what happens. You guys see, like, doesn't matter if they try to make it become the dark forest again. You're fine. You're protected. You start seeing it. They're like, they're trying to make it become the dark forest again. I was like, is that actually worth it though? Because everyone else around you sees the dark forest because it is the dark forest. Yet you're operating. This is why people are like, is it delusion? I'm like, it's not delusion. You actually are operating that way because despite it being the dark forest, you see the possibilities. You see the opportunities. You see that it's more than that. It became that. Like, someone told me that it's the dark forest. Someone told me that it's bad. Or I experienced bad things here, but I'm like, is it? Hold on. Like, if we just sat there, right, with Frey and the cats, and we sat there, and I'm like, okay, we're going to wait in this dark forest for a year. We're just going to sit here. We're going to feed ourselves. We have water. We can survive here. Is it probably the best idea? No, it might get a little boring, but we're going to do it. And this time you're not looking from the top down. This time you're just there. And you're just experiencing, and you're like, well, actually, why is this the dark forest again? Just to help people a little bit conceptualize this, I'm not going to start a path here, but I just want people to understand, like, think about, like, there's people in our lives, like, maybe extended family or things of that nature, that people are like, they're bad, or like something, like they're told that they're bad, or they create like this narrative. Okay, if all of a sudden you spend time with them and you got disrupted temporarily, that the set thing that says, hey, this is the dark forest, they're in the dark forest, ooh, this is the answer. All of a sudden you're like spending time there and you're like, wait a minute, why did I think they were so bad? Outdated. I'm telling you guys, that's how they do it. So I destroyed what they were trying to start by walking a little bit into it, but I used it as a positive to help all of you as well to conceptualize this knowledge. So all of a sudden we're in the dark forest, and we're like, wait a minute, it's not that bad. Why did I think so? So now there's more light. And what I challenge each and every one of you to explore, and we're going to do a more in-depth example later, is the forest actually then maybe this is real. The forest then actually treats us differently. Because, well, we see it as a light forest, even though it's called the dark forest. So maybe the light forest isn't going to send as many Pac-Mans at us. Could that be real? I don't know. Doesn't really matter though. I don't want people to get lost there. I'm just telling you guys what I just did right there. Unnecessary. It's a good lesson. That's details that don't matter. I was just helping people explain it, but we should never focus on things that we can't get the answer to. Like, I'm like, hey, could it be that if I went to a forest right now that everyone said is a bad place, I'll experience bad things if I think it's a bad place, but if I think it's a good place, and treat it as a good place, I'll experience good things. Don't do that. Just so people know this is really good. This is really advanced knowledge, but I want people to understand this. Because if you start going down that path, it's just theory. Do you guys get it? It's just a theory. And you could test it, you could experiment, but that one, there's no reason to. Do you guys understand? Because because we're basing it off of something. So that means that if they can present set things to us to be like, well, today I sat there and I believe that I said, you're a light forest. I know you're a light forest. And I only got good things presented to me. Well, that means obviously it's because I said that. Do you guys see how the danger of that? Because if they know we're going to do an experiment and we're going to say something or like believe that it's now a light forest, even though it's a dark forest, they can just present those set things. And now we're going to believe that that area is good. And I'm saying it doesn't mean it is, or it doesn't mean it isn't. Do you guys see? We're moving away from that. But I wanted people to understand that you stop judging and basing things off of those overt things. Because if it's really the light forest, well, just every day should be that way. Do you guys understand? It's not going to be a problem. Like, just over the course of our entire life, it's going to be the light forest. Do you guys get it? If something is really good, like over the course of entire life, it's going to be light forest. And once in a while, if something bad happens, we know it was a response to something that got presented. Maybe the dark forest got worried that the tree was going to be chopped down. And because of that, it like sent thorns at us. You see, like, then you understand that. But now you guys don't grade anymore on those overt things. That's what happens when you open the door. So I'm saying, guys, I got to the point where I'm like, well, should we? Because now you see the you see a light forest. You're like, yeah, it is the dark forest, but there's opportunity here, even if it is. I'm like, why can't we like we literally could create a community here. We could befriend the animals. That's not. Why would you do that in a dark forest? I'm like, is it the dark forest? Like, do you guys see? Like, it still is, but you see opportunity. You see possibility. You haven't lost faith in the world. In the world, in this case, is the dark forest. You haven't lost faith in it anymore, because you know. And this is how we're going to cover in depth. We're already explaining all the answers, but we're going to break it down here later exactly how to do so repeatedly, on how to regain faith in the world. So then you see it as the light forest. So that means you try. That means you do. It means you believe. Because like I said, when you believe and have faith, you do. So all of a sudden, like, hey, let's create a community in Dark Forest. Let's do this. Let's create a guild. Yeah, let's do it. And you do. And it's fun. And it's something I've been considering. But you guys see, like, then they present bad to me again. And then I'm like, that's my reality. So I'm saying, if now I see it as the light forest, but then every path we walk, we get hurt, we get attacked. When that happens, most of us then are like, yeah, it's not the light forest. I'm saying, I'm like, hold on, guys, no, it's okay. We do set things, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's the light forest again. And people are like, oh, wow, it is. I would get stuck there because I viewed the dangers of that. Do you guys see it? Like, I'm not saying it's delusion. It's just you see the areas of possibility. And I realized that was danger. But that's what we're deciphering today. What do you guys think? Could it ever be worth it to do that if you learn how? Healed, deconstructed, and you are free, so you don't respond based on whatever gets presented, but there's just no more problems. So it means you see it as the light forest. No matter what, you have faith again in the world. But should you always be doing that? Or should you never forget what your reality actually is? Because if you do, you might get hurt again. So what I have come to discover is that what if we just walk forward? So we're in this dark forest. I view it as a light forest. I'm trying to get some of you guys to view it as a light forest. Like, what if we just walk forward? The door's open. What if we just walk through? What if we say, F it? I call this the F it play. What if we say, F it? We walk forward through the forest. We have no idea where we're going. We're going to create a community in a place that we haven't even fully explored. We don't have guards set up. We don't have barriers. We didn't get rid of all the thorns. We have there's a lot of problems that could happen. We're really going to, F it. Just walk forward. Let's do this. We got attacked today. Do you remember we saw the skeleton with the sword and the note? We got attacked today. Are you sure that you want to walk forward today? I don't even know how you do it, but why not wait till tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow we're going to get a good thing. Maybe a beautiful, fairy Egyptian elf lady or something is going to walk by in this forest. And she's going to want to date me, and she guides me to this hidden wellspring, and there's animals there. Oh, then I definitely want to create a community here with her. What if I could just walk forward even without that? Even on the day where we got attacked, even on our worst day. I could just say, F it. Because you see, if I needed the girl, or I needed the animals, or the good things to present to make it become a light forest to do, that means that I can't ever do if I don't have those things. Ever. And that's what they've done to the entire world. That's why we've all become reliant on set tools. Easy wins, external rewards, money, praise, adoration, all those things, guys. Because otherwise, you have no faith. Those are the things that temporarily give you guys faith. And I'm trying to teach all of you and just remind myself how much we know, but that we figured out how to, a recreatable way to get to be without needing A. We don't need to feel anymore. Could you self-destruct? Could you be a Geodude that does self-destruct? Or a Voltrope for anyone who played Pokemon and self-destruct? But then, right after that, you're like, okay, so now we're level 1 again. We were like a level 60 Pokemon. And now we're level 1 again. Now we start. Now we're going to challenge the gym leader or the Elite Four. Like, what? Why would you didn't do it when you were level 16. You're going to do it now when you're level 1? I'm like, yeah. Why? Well, I haven't regained faith and belief in the world. My reality has not changed. If anything, my reality is worse. The bad is still present. The moment you're level 1 now, and everywhere you walk, you see the bad again. So it means the bad is not removed, yet you're trying. You have temporary faith in the world. But you guys see, like, the permanent faith isn't there. Because it clashes against your reality. Like, you know what your reality actually is. But I'm saying we don't need it to do. You don't need that external anymore, guys. You don't need something to take you from here to here. You can always just be here. You get to decide. And there are things, you realize you really can just go, whoop. But what you do realize is that there's a few set things that you can do beforehand to get yourself on a positive path, to make yourself believe a little bit more. But really the main benefit is just to create a shield to protect your heels and your ankles so that those little ants aren't roping you and going to trip you. That's really all you have to do. But I'm telling you that one moment that we just go from whoop, whoop, F it, just walk forward, and we're just like, okay, you know what? This is the life force. Let's do this. I hope that there's that beautiful, like, succubus girl here, and yeah. It's going to be great. But that one moment of just temporarily disrupting what your reality is enough. So many of us think that we need to get it to be amazing, right? Like the overt change needs to happen. I'm saying that is what we are, that's the aim in the distant, far distant. Like, of course we want that. It'd be amazing to not have any bad. 100%, to make our entire reality change so that we never get presented bad again. That is how not only it should be, but that is what we must fight for, all of us. But there's something present, I call it the final sin today, that makes sure that that's never going to happen, or at least not currently. So do you guys understand that all of you right now are operating in such a way that because there's a final sin present in your life that prevents the removal of all bad permanently and only making it good, to change your reality completely so you guys believe again? You never can, because final sin is always present for all of you. That means you never will regain faith in the world again. You will always respond the way they decide. Always. 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 So how can we do without? How can we do without faith, without belief? I'm telling you guys, most of us get tricked into doing the externals or grading it based off that. And I'm saying that's also not enough, because that's just there to protect you, to shield you, to make sure that when you do say the F it play, when you just jump from 1 to 100, you're shielded, you're protected. But I'm telling you guys, it's not enough. I thought so. Before I used to think so, but it's not enough. So how can we make B occur without A? Gonna take a quick break. Just gonna get a German pastry and warm up my coffee, and then we're gonna do a good push. It's gonna be a good segment. How can we do B without A? How can we operate without faith, yet, despite because our reality is what we consider bad, yet do as if we had faith and as if our reality wasn't bad? Is that possible? And is there a repeatable method and approach to do so? Let's break it down. All right. Get something. This is where I'm telling you guys, get something like that, just like a snack, something sweet, something you consider like a reward. All right. Normally I would get a croissant here, but I'm not going to because I actually feel satisfied right now. So I'm just going to get a German pastry. All right. Let's do this. How could I get another German pastry without grabbing one? Is that possible? For many of you, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to start thinking about that. And that is exactly one of the answers. We're not actually going to break that one down because that would have been a bait. You see, like, we don't need to get lost in the specifics, but when we start thinking, when we start deciphering, when we start trying to like figure something out, we get protected. Because I'm like, well, wait a minute. Could I how could I take another bite right now of my pastry without using my fingers? I'm like, or moving my head. I'm like, well, God, I could use my feet. You guys see, like, all of a sudden, now you start thinking about different approaches. That is one of the keys. Because otherwise, it's not recreatable, guys. And that is what happens to all of us, right? We let's say you guys open the door and you saw her. You understand everything. You're following along, and all is starting to make sense. You're getting a little overwhelmed, but you're like, okay. But now you're like, well, now what? How can I now regain faith in everything now that I see all this? I'm like, well, it's not recreatable for most of us anymore. And for all of you who haven't opened the door yet and see all this. It's just view it as successes. You guys can't recreate successes in anything you try or anything you do. Which means that I'm not saying that sometimes there are things that are completely, there's nothing we could have done. Minor modifications, small little things, mostly execution, and those just are completely irrelevant because you guys can just, you always can like just rewind time, the clocks. You can be like, nope, not today, and you can see like what the source of the mistake was. You guys can piece it together, like, well, that's how that happened. I'm like, that actually wasn't a mistake. We didn't, or you guys understand now, you attribute things to the correct source. You're like, oh, why did I not take a sip right now of coffee? I'm like, oh, it's because it's actually really warm right now. But someone else is because you're streaming, that's why. And you didn't want to like look bad. I'm like, no, it's because it's warm. Do you guys see like some people are going to attribute it to this, and if you actually understand, you attribute it to this. That's the game. But it's not easy to get to that because they make us believe that something else is causing, or something else is the reason, or something else. That's why things are not recreatable for us, because all of you also are in a rush. All of you need to respond a certain way to get the external that protects you. So you can't ever slow down. You don't allow mistakes, and you can't just like relax and have fun with it. But you can't also learn what they do. So, what do I call that? What's the first step on how to get to B without A? How to regain faith in the world, even if our reality doesn't change? I call it the Karen Travers effect. It's inspiration from a video game called Scarlet Nexus. It's a character in a video game. A character who suffered major losses, who lost everything, who went on a mission to try to prevent said loss because they discovered that they could actually rewind time. They found a way to do so and go back in time, but every single time they did, they created what I call an entanglement, which is something that shouldn't be present, an event that shouldn't have happened. I mean, I just think about it, guys, like if I went back in time, just even like an hour ago, I'm like, ooh, there was this one part where you almost got baited to do a path. They suggested something to you, and if you started talking about it, and you almost got baited, you caught it, but it would be better if you just completely avoided it. I'm like, you're right. But you guys see that then things change. Maybe for good, maybe for bad. Who knows? But it created a situation where if you go back in time to try to fix those moments, it means that you're focused on one thing and one thing alone, the end. That's really what it is, just so people understand, like you can sum up every time travel story with that. The whole reason why people do so or talk about that is because everyone's trying to decipher that concept. Like they're trying to change the end, the outcome. We're just focused on the end. We're just trying to get out of the dark forest. That's all it is. That's what I call the Karen Travers effect. The character who lost a girl near and dear to his heart through something that he could have prevented, but he couldn't. He didn't. So then, instead of moving forward and just saying F it and trying to figure out ways to regain faith in the world, he let the sorrow, the rancor, the rage fester through the reminders, through the situations presented, and other people had situations similar that kept reinforcing. So they kept trying to find ways to rewrite the narrative and the history. And it doesn't mean that there aren't other problems that were happening in the world. And sometimes they actually were being good and helpful and helping the world. But at the end of the day, they actually were one of the main villains because they couldn't defeat that. Their whole focus was on the end. That's what going back in time, trying to fix things and prevent things was. And I'm saying all of us have a version of this. Just so you guys know, don't let them ever try to suggest to you that this is you. We all have this, just so people understand. We each do. All of us. From minor things to major things. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm telling you guys, it could just be as simple as if you play a video game. Or if you warmed up your food 1 minute instead of 1 minute 5 seconds. You're like, you guys get it? It's as simple as that, okay? So don't get lost here. But I just wanted people to understand that. That we all have something that we're like, we could have done this or we could have done that. I'm like, I have only the first time. All that is, guys, if that gets pushed to you, is there's something in this world that's trying to create a path that makes you focused only on the end. I'm not even saying the external. To hear you, that's something else, right? We talked about that one extensively. That's real because they attach it because those are the things that heal us, that protect us, that give us that shield, that let us fight on, to have faith. They destroy us to make us lose faith, so then we need those externals. That's a different thing. I'm saying they exclusively focus on the end. I'm like, hey, what would be the end of this? I'm like, well, what's the answer to the question that you said at the beginning of the stream? That's it. That's all that matters. Nothing else. I'm like, well, we need to get to that right away. I'm like, okay. You see, like, I'm calm. I'm going to get to it. There's going to be parts that are, like, you guys see, like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get to it. It's a whole journey. Because I'm not focused on the end. So imagine if I was like, I need to finish this Lebkuchen, this German pastry, in the next 2 minutes. You guys see now there's a time limit, there's a need, there's a requirement. I can. Actually, it's really good. I might. There's nothing wrong with that. But where the problem would have arisen is if I only focused on the end. I only need to get the girl. I'm like, yeah, I really do. Knowing who I am. But imagine if I only focused on, do I have the girl or not? That's why you guys see, like, I almost took it down to the other way where I'm like, oh, I'm taking such a step back. I'm like, now I'm worried that they're making me lose faith. I'm not even going to try anymore. So there you see that there's a balance, there's a middle ground. But most of us never get to that point. We just focus on the end. I conceptualize it through in a video game encounter. Like, think of it just like you're doing the last leader, the final challenge to overcome, the Elden Beast, Karen Travers. You're in a fight against them. He wants to rewind the clocks and change the past, and you know the dangers of it because you've been solving them. And you need his help to try to make things better, the final piece. But Karen Travers is not going to let you do that. So you guys get into a battle. So all of a sudden you're in this battle against Karen Travers. Well, you're like, wait a minute. Or you're starting to lose. And we need to defeat him. We need to win right now. And I'm like, why? Now, in this example, it's a video game, right? So if we lose, we can retry. I want you guys to think of it like this. Let's say we defeat Karen Travers and he rewinds time, but when that happens, we wake up and like, whoa! Like if someone splashes water in our face, like, whoa. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. We're back. Oh, we're about to fight Karen Travers again. Oh gosh, here we go. Wait, why did we lose last time too? What happened? Like, what was the move? What was his attack that I didn't catch? I didn't piece together in time. You guys see, like, think of it like that. Is that for anything that we do, they try to make us focus on the end. This is a really easy way to make us lose faith in whatever we're doing. It's like the end being whatever, like some outcome, something. And it's not, remember, it's not the external reward. I'm just saying it's the end. I'm like, we have to defeat Karen Travers. And I'm like, we got time. I'm like, this is a great battle. This is a great experience. I'm like, so what if we lose? We get to try again, and it's fun. He pushes us. He makes us actually like have to respond to all his abilities because he has like an ice attack, he has a fire attack, he has an electric orb, he has all these things. You're gonna have to listen to the song after this. We're gonna have to do the fight after this. But you see all those things and you're like, wait, why did I need to win this attempt? Why did I feel that way? That's how they make us lose faith. And I'm saying, if you can defeat that, if you realize, wait a minute, no, it's yeah, of course it would be better Even that's a risk, but that's just real. Of course, it'd be better if we won, right? Like, why wouldn't we want that? It'd be cool because especially when you retry something, it's different, guys. Just so you guys remember what I said, you can draw from it, but it's never going to be the same. It's going to be, it could be a little more challenging even, right? Because they're changing your focus, but it's usually going to be a little easier, but it's going to be a different experience. It's still going to be great. It's going to be fun. But now you already know more. You guys, like, the first time you're like, what's going to be next? What's going to be next, right? Now this time you're like, okay, let's do this. You see, it's different. Doesn't mean it's not fun. Doesn't mean it isn't great. Think of like rereading a story or watching a movie you've already watched for, replaying a video game that you've already played for. Like for myself, Final Fantasy X or like Bankaito's Origins. It's amazing, but it's a little different because as you're doing it, you're like, yeah, this part. Some parts you forget, but you kind of already know. And you can intentionally choose not to do optimal, but you guys see, it's a little different. But when we're doing, they make us only focus on the end. And it's how we lose faith and everything. And this is for you when I reconsume this. I don't know how we're going to figure it out, but I know eventually we'll figure out a path forward to get a girl again and explore life. I know somehow we will. But that's part of the journey. It really is. Figuring all that out. I don't know how we're going to, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. It's Karen Travers. We don't need to win. First step. So, what ends up happening is when we're trying, we get consumed. I'm not even saying in a dark way. I'm saying that it becomes our entire focus, and we're one mind. It's like this needs to happen, and it's for a reason. Do you guys get it? Because it is the correct play. Hey, yeah, this needs to happen right now because if we get to this, we win. We solve the problems. Hear what I'm saying? We solve the problems. It's the solution. It solves everything. It does. Do you guys understand? Whatever it is for us. But that is how they make sure that we never regain faith in the world. Because if it's what solves all the problems, and then we're only focused on getting to it, the only thing is it's a check mark. If you complete it, you reach the end, you get it, then all your problems are solved. They do everything possible to create problems and disruptions and stuff like that, or just frustrations. Even if you still get it in your first attempt, they're going to create so many problems and frustrations. It's just you don't enjoy the experience, the path to the end. And the end could, like I said, could be, hey, just to the end of eating this pastry. After that, there's more to the world. I can get another pastry. I can do another thing. I'm not saying it's to the end of the story, but it's just to the end of whatever and this is every single thing, guys. This is super advanced knowledge, but it's for every single thing that we do. Even just like, I need to now drink all my water, the rest that I have right now. Like when you get that feeling, it's because they're making you focus on the end. I need to I ate 90% of my cereal. I need to now finish it. I'm telling you guys, it's everywhere. Once you see it, you're going to be like, holy crap, that's how they do it. It's everywhere. They make us focused only on the end. At one moment, it pops up, and then it ruins anything else. That's how they can destroy faith in us, and you have to defeat it. You have to. You have to. You have to. This one is binary. You have to. Just be like, wait a minute. Well, I mean, of course it'd be better if we just accomplish this right now, but we get to enjoy it again. For myself, I'm like, hey, we get to get to know another girl. It's fun. But in the moment, because you know what it gives you, the end result, you can't focus on anything but the end. But I'm like, wait a minute. Just to go back to the more grounded, for myself, video game example. Like the battle against Karen Travers. I'm like, this is so much fun. This is such a unique battle. This is so well designed. Like, you see, like, now we're appreciating the design. Remember what I said at the beginning, guys? Can we come to appreciate a world that is only trying to destroy us and cause us problems and make us lose faith in it? You see, if we're not focused on the end anymore, now all of a sudden I'm like, wow, this is actually really cool design. I'm like, wow, this is fun. This is really good. I'm like, they created quite a good challenges here. I mean, now you're like, hey, you know what? Let's even make it more challenging. Let's add some of our own challenges. Let's not make it easy because there's not enough challenging fights anyway. And so now people are like, wait, what? You've been trying to get to the end so badly. And now you're even adding extra little challenges to make it even more challenging, but you're having fun with it? Do you guys see that when you do something like that, when you create your own experiences to create extra little challenges and you just appreciate the design and you're exploring and doing all this stuff, you're not focused on the end. Hey, I just need to reach that. Then you're protected. Then you're almost like, hey, Karen Travers, you want to rewind the clocks again? He's like, what? Is this a ploy? And I'm like, maybe. Changes things. You see, guys, you flip the script on them when you're not only focused on the end anymore. It's not easy. I want people to understand it. It's not easy because you always know, like the characters always know, if we defeat Karen Travers, we're going to be safe. We're going to prevent entanglements that disrupt the timelines in the past and the present and all this stuff like that. And we could use his help and he can help save the world with us. Like, we know that. So it's not easy. Like, you guys are really going to take a risk right now and potentially not save the world right now? Yeah. That's not easy. But what you realize is when you guys do that, it's like you're allowing yourself to make mistakes. You're calm. And once you start appreciating all those things, you're just like, it's okay. It's okay if we don't succeed this time. You're not worried about those things anymore. Like, your focus is different. All of a sudden, fixing the past doesn't matter anymore. I'm not saying it wouldn't make things better. It would. But all of a sudden, you guys aren't worried about that anymore because, well, you're healed. You've deconstructed everything. You've realized I'm teaching all of you how to make it so you guys don't have problems anymore. But one of the key ways is by not focusing on the end. If you're not focused on the end, you don't care about going back in the past to fix things. I'm telling you guys, it still would always be the answer. I'm like, I would love to go back in time, just so people know. I would love to go back in time. I would love to. And I would fix and prevent everything. But then at the same time, I'm like, how would I even start? You see, I'm just focused on the end. What's the end? I'm like, I need to prevent all those things that happened. Now I know all the bad things they did. So you see, like, now I'm just focused on the end. I'm telling you guys, even if I went back in time, I just wouldn't enjoy it then as much because every single thing I'm doing is I'm just trying to prevent the end. So the purpose for each thing. Why am I eating this? What's the purpose for this? Energy? A little prize, sweet, tastes not really filling. What if I created my own association with it? What if I used it for, like, to explain topics? I did, right? You guys see, like, wait, what was his actual purpose? Why am I drinking coffee? that I want to make sure that I stay grounded and on a path more of like that teleports me towards like the Germany path and going towards other directions. Yeah. You see, guys, what does that boil down to? All those things that I said. People are like, well, it could be any of those. I'm like, wrong. There's an underlying purpose for it. Like, what is it actually doing? It's enabling one of my shields so that I can perform the way I want to, so I can execute the way I want to. It's just a little minor shield. What's the purpose of the microphone? Just so that people can, and I myself can hear myself decipher and communicate these topics in a different way than I've already pieced together and written before. But do you guys understand that I could actually just do so with my phone? Or I could go to the bathroom, look at myself in the mirror and do so. Or just not even look at myself and just talk. I could. So it means, do you guys see? It's just a tool to help me further execute. But you once you start understanding the purpose, what ends up happening is that they make us forget, intentionally, by the way, through positive nudges or through comparisons or through, usually it's positive in comparisons, what the purpose for each tool was. So all of a sudden I'm like, well, I want to stream to educate people, to guide people, to heal people, but really for myself. This one really is for myself because I'm at a crossroads where I'm just trying to decipher if it's actually worth it to do the paths that I know how to consistently have faith again in the world, despite there being no reason to ever have faith in my reality. There's none. Just so people understand, based on everything I've encountered over the last 2 years, there's zero reason. Zero. You know what I'm saying? I know how I can still get to that. Should I? Aren't there dangers there? Isn't there a risk? See, like, that's what I've been trying to decipher. I'm figuring it out live. But I'm also healing, guiding, and teaching at the same time. What if I got baited to believe that this microphone is what matters? That's actually what matters in this activity. What I'm currently doing. I'm not saying that it doesn't help. But you guys see, we get baited to focus on the wrong purpose for something. I'm like, why would I want to like look at some beautiful girl pictures right now? I'm like, there's a reason for it. Why would I drink coffee right now? There's a reason for it. There's a purpose for it. It serves, in some ways people are like, it's kind of fucked up, but you're becoming extremely mechanical, extremely like, and that we need to. Once you get to this level, just so people understand this level of difficulty, you need to. Because when things are easy, just so people are aware, when things are easy, again, you guys can try it out. And for people, think about it like school. You guys go back to like kindergarten, the Mexican bazaar. Or for myself, I think about it in video games. If it's easy, if you're playing on the easiest difficulty, you can use anything. You can use whatever setup. You can try anything. I'm saying even on the hardest difficulties, you almost can get away with everything. Almost. But if it's extremely challenging, you can't. You just can't, because it's balanced around the things that have more scale. I call it scaling, right? It's tuning. It's like, I can reach 100 in 10 seconds. They expected us to reach 100 by 11 seconds. I'm like, ooh, I win. But if they balanced it around 9 seconds and I only can get there in 10, that means I always will Leviathan lose. Always. I will always lose right there. Do you guys see? It means it's impossible. So we need to understand the purpose for each thing. Because when they try to make us think that we can use things for other things. And at the beginning, you can. When we're first exploring this world, think about it, guys, like when you're in kindergarten, you're a kid. You can use almost anything for anything because the difficulty isn't there yet. So a lot of you are like, oh, I wish you could go back when I was a kid. Yeah, because there was no difficulty. Do you guys get it? That means you could do anything. You can try anything. You could do whatever. It doesn't matter. The difficulty increased. Yet, I'm telling you, for most of you, the difficulty is still not there. I'm not saying that to diminish your accomplishments. I'm saying that to make you guys realize, wait a minute, that means that I can still try. Yeah, you guys can still explore because the difficulty isn't there yet. They just made you think that it's there. That's the difference. I'm telling you guys, I used to think that my difficulty was there, and my difficulty was absurd for years already, and it's nothing to what it is right now. Nothing. That's why I'm saying for all of you, the same thing is going to happen. Right now, you guys think that you're going through something absurd, the difficulty, and saying, be grateful that for most of you it's not the case. But don't get offended. Fight that. Because you guys are going to feel a response right now. You're like, you don't know what I'm going. Fight it, and take a deep breath, and be like, wait a minute. That means that I actually can experiment. You guys see, like, we're viewing it differently. It means that you guys can experiment. It means that you guys actually can try things, different setups. Because if the difficulty is so absurd, I'm telling you guys, you can't do anything differently. So like think about it. Like if my difficulty was so absurd right now, I would have to stream with like a set articles of clothing, a set oh wait, is that what I do? Do you guys get it? If you don't have a choice, because if I choose the wrong things, I'm going to get attacked. Does that happen to all of you? I hope not. Do you guys, that's what I'm trying to get you to realize, all of you, is that they make it so that you have to do something. Yet, so that's one thing. View it as you guys can experiment. You can try. You don't have to use things for one thing. Yet, at the same time, I encourage all of you to start practicing identifying the purpose for each thing. Well, I say that in life we should have select few things that serve a role. One of the most important ones is what I call the mental reset. And this one protects us because it's not something that has small mundane problems, because those are a bait. But it has small little temporary ones in there, but they're so short in term, they don't really matter. Because if they're in our actual life or in our actual vicinity, small problems are extremely dangerous. But we'll get to that. So the mental reset is some kind of activity, some kind of thing that temporarily takes us to a different world. And we all need to have one. It doesn't have info in it, or almost none. Very little overt info. What's info? Just text. Okay? It has very little. So a video game, something like that, something that we don't really care about, something that we don't only focus about the end, because that way they can't really weaponize it. Because what's going to happen is we get baited to corruption. Right? They present those things, the forced reminders, to make us lose faith. And there's not a lot we can do, because what ends up happening when you guys experience it, when you lose faith, is that two things end up happening. Either whatever we experience or try next doesn't seem as bright. Remember what I said? Now that the dark forest looks extra dark, you don't even see any light. Or you see it as light, and then all of a sudden, you're just getting reminded of all the things that make it dark. So do you guys see that then those things, the dark forest then is not the mental reset. You need something else that is there just to kind of like get rid of all the info, just temporarily change your focus, make you just like live in another world short term. But most of you use things that have excessive info right now as your mental reset. So what ends up happening is it's not a mental reset, it's just a mental seasoning. An example, reading a book, extremely dangerous. Because if you got seasoned preemptively, it's not a mental reset. Think about all the paths that they have in that. Doesn't matter how good the book is, doesn't matter how well written it is, even if it doesn't have a lot of path starters, which is just through vague things that they can communicate, because then you get nudge things into your head that makes you think that it's related to something else based on your own interpretations of your own life. So if you read a book, to like mentally reset or to feel better. It's dangerous. Unless, I talked about this in my last stream, but it's like you create your own positive nudge book, which has like your own memories, but you talk around them through other examples, and they can completely change it. But the best thing to do, guys, is some kind of activity, some kind of thing that mentally resets you, that demands your focus. I think of it like a strategy game, or like something like that, something that just makes you think. Okay? So even this activity, guys, that I'm doing right now, like a stream, creating content, creating something like this, it makes you think. So it's actually a great mental reset. It really is. This one has multiple things in one, but it's also just a mental reset. It really is. It really is. That's actually kind of what it is, huh? It resets us completely, because it completely takes over our focus. So imagine if you're trying to use something for that, right? I'm just trying to reset myself. And then I tell you, no, guys. I need this to be the thing that is going to get me the girl, right? That succubus that walks by in the dark forest that I'm going to create a community with. Or something of that nature. Or this is what she's going to guide us to escape the forest. And you're like, but wait, weren't we using it for this? Weren't we using that for that? I'm like, yeah. So now all of a sudden, if we try to do it also for this, I'm like, well, can I use this activity to get the girl and that? Can I use this activity to guide people and that? What you're going to notice, guys, is once in a while, yeah, but it's dangerous. Because the secondary purpose for it that we added on wasn't the original reason why we're doing it. Is not up to us. I know I said I wasn't going to use a lot of grounded examples, just for people to think about like company storyline, nonprofit, things of that nature. Okay, guys? Just think of it like that. You started for a reason, but then they created the secondary reason and they attached it to be your main. Hey, I thought we were doing this to help people. Why do we care about money? Yep, get it, guys? So that's how it happens. So we forget the original purpose for each activity. And that's how they make us lose faith in the world. This is really how they attach external things. I guess that's what this one is. Remembering the purpose for each thing is how we don't get baited to care about externals. Remembering the purpose for each thing is how we don't get baited to care about externals. Do you see, like, that's why I don't care how many people watch this or don't watch this. It's a benefit. Because I know what the purpose for this is. Remember what I said, guys? I'm using this to figure out something, to decipher something. Even though it is a mental reset, it really is to figure out. I'm learning something. I'm piecing something together. There's a lot of side... So I guess what I'm realizing is that it can have side benefits, but if they happen, they happen. They're completely irrelevant. You're like, oh, cool. But they just don't matter. You're like, oh, wow, I actually got to do that this time. Cool. Do you guys see, like, but that means that if it's prevented, or if it's taken, or if it's ruined, or if it's stopped, it has no effect on you. Because what I came to realize is that, for example, like there's a game that I used to play. I still do. But I started attaching... I love strategy. I love being like what I call a raid leader, a guide, guiding, and helping people, mentoring, teaching, healing, showing people the way, because I have the vision, and I don't need to take the credit. I don't need to be in the spotlight. I will gladly set them up, and they don't. And the best part, my favorite situation, is setting them up without them even realizing that I set them up, and they succeed, and they believe. Now, their only danger to that is that sometimes then if I'm not there, they lose and they don't understand. But for the most part, I just like setting them up. I try to explain it and teach them so that they can do so by themselves and afterwards, but we're a team, right? So I help them. What I came to realize is that it was random who I ended up playing with or who I ended up teaming up with to guide. So I came up with some methods that almost near guarantee success, but there's still sometimes that, I'm telling you guys, intentional prevention. You just know, I'm like, oh my gosh, like no matter what I do, this person hates us from the beginning. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I'm like, you can try. And maybe by the end of the game, at the end of the story, they're like, hey, you know what? You're not that bad. You're like, okay. You see, I don't care about that. But that means I was prevented from guiding. I was prevented from healing. I was prevented from teaching. I was prevented from doing that thing. But wait, I thought that the reason why I was playing this game was for the mental reset, to just change my focus, to not be worried about those things. Oh, it's because now they started showing me that I can guide people, that I can heal people, that I can help people here. And now all of a sudden I started caring about that. Which means now if they take that away or prevent it, now I'm at risk again. I'm like, well, where else can I get it? I'm like, I need it. I need to have external. I need to have this. I need to be able to guide. I need to be able to heal. I need to be able to help. Do you guys see? They make us forget our purpose for each thing. If there are side benefits to it, you're like, yeah, that's awesome. But it wasn't why. Yeah, I'll share it. They nudged it to me. Nudges means when something pops up into our head, it's not us, guys. Okay? It's a suggestion that they put. And right now they suggested to me that I should talk about, because that's how they do it, just so people are aware if you're not fully shielded in flow. Having a kid. So for many of us, they just put that thought into my head, okay? That's how it is. That's what they do. That's what I'm saying, they guide us. But that's also how they insert the negatives. So having a kid, many of us, we become parents and do that originally because we want to have a kid. We want to re-experience life with them. We want to explore the world with them. We want to almost do the Karen Travers, which is what we want to prevent all our past mistakes through our kids, right? Make sure that they don't repeat our past. And that's great. We should always learn from everything and keep modifying in our approach. That's awesome. But really, most of us have a kid because it's family. It's beautiful. We get to guide, we get to teach, we get to re-explore, we get to remember who we were, we get to pass it on, and we just get to actually, that's our paradise. We get to experience life with a girl and a kid, and hopefully pets too, and just see everything the world has to offer. So you see, like that's the purpose of having a kid, a family. Yet what I challenge all of you to explore is that almost everyone in this world, not everyone, who has a kid at some point or still currently, forgets that. All of a sudden it's like, well, it's about my kids' accomplishments, their grades, their appearance, what they've achieved, what they do, how they're doing, all these things. And I'm saying, are all those things extras? Yeah. But why is that now the purpose? I'm like, wait, why did you have a kid? What was it? You see, they make us forget that, and then they bait us to attach it to externals. See, what happened there is they suggested that idea to me, and I'm like, I paused and I evaluated it in seconds, and that's something you guys are going to get to, where I'm like, is that actually a good idea? I like to talk about. I'm like, actually, that's a really great. It is a good example in this case. There's some risk here. I know that because there's some personals there that could start past. See, like I evaluate, but I'm like, actually, I think this could be really good, not only for myself, but for everyone else too, to conceptualize that, yeah, we had a kid for a reason, but then all of a sudden we were made to forget that through bad, through good, through comparisons. All of a sudden, I'm like, why aren't we parenting our kid the same way anymore? Like, oh, it's because now we care about these external things. You guys see, we must remember the purpose for each thing, because when that happens, we can't get baited. They can't destroy our faith because they destroy our faith by attaching things to external. So, creating a path of solving evil, fighting back, yet also at the same time, can we still explore without doing? What does that mean? If right now I told you guys, like someone walked by and like turned off my stream, I'll restart my stream. It's not gonna be the same though. Do you guys get it? Right now, I'm calm. And I'll still be calm, but it's gonna be a little different. So I might want to figure out a way to fight back against that because it's necessary. It is. It destroyed it temporarily destroyed our faith. Just even in short term. It doesn't mean that, but you guys see like, for most things we are just like, basically the way the world works is there's always things being presented that destroy our faith, but then there's something that happens that regains it. And for most of us, it's so fast. It happens within seconds. Like, you're like, oh, hey, you're a really bad streamer. I'm like, what? I drink yourself a coffee? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm really good. And that's it. And you guys see, like, they destroyed it, but immediately, like, it's seconds. That's how the world operates. Do you guys understand? It's just like a constant barrage. But what I'm saying is, what if I came up with a path where when that got presented to me, if you said that to me, my solution was, because sometimes like, when you see people's responses or people's complaints or people's like insults, attacks, shit talking, things of that nature, we don't really understand what that is. And I'm saying what that actually is, guys, is people got presented something negative. This is fucking awesome right now, by the way. People got presented something negative, and it's their defense mechanism. It's how they respond to it. Remember when I said, like, anytime someone presents something, they fight back like that. They fight back like that. That's how they protect themselves. That's how they protect themselves. And now it all makes sense how they do it. Holy shit. But what I'm saying is, okay, so you created that as your defense mechanism. Sure, that's not how I would do so, but let's say you all created that. When someone says something like that to you, that's your defense mechanism. When that happens, like maybe you made a mistake, and maybe someone even didn't say anything. Maybe you know you made a mistake, but instead you shit talk other people because that's like your defense mechanism. I'm saying you can create that path because it's temporarily, for you, solves the evil. It's like, maybe it's like the answers. Like, well, actually, maybe you do point out other people's mistakes. So I'm like, well, you forgot that, and you did that, and you did this, and you did that. But you guys see, like, hear how I'm changing. Like, I'm getting consumed. I'm getting baited down a path of revenge, and yet I'm justified in a way because, like, they did something bad, and we're fighting back. We're reclaiming control of the narrative. But I'm saying, can we explore that? Be like, well, let's see, like, yeah, I made a mistake, but what are all the other mistakes that happened? I'm like, well, that person made that mistake, that person made that mistake, that person made that mistake. All those are just execution errors. They don't really matter. What got presented to make all those people do an execution error? I'm like, oh, actually what ended up happening is all of us got baited to help people because they got, like, someone overextended to try to make a good play in, let's say, like a video game or in a sports team or whatever. But something happened. Like, when they did that, they shouldn't have gone all the way over there. Like I think with soccer, like someone played all the way and they moved all the way to, like, the corner kick area. They shouldn't have gone all the way over there in the World Cup, Germany. But they did, and now other players go help them. And I think of it for myself, like in League of Legends, like someone gets caught, they shouldn't have gone there, but we're like, we can help them, we're close enough. So we go help them. But when we do that, you see, we all deviated our path. And that's why we all made a mistake. But most of us, someone else, the person who died, who got caught, who made the first mistake, then starts blaming everyone. It's like, why didn't you guys do this? Why didn't you push? Why didn't you have my back? Why didn't you do that? And you see, like, that's their defense mechanism that got created to protect them. They know they made a mistake, or they can realize, they don't really see it, but that's their defense mechanism. You see, then they start attacking other people. That's what it is. Holy shit. Now you see, like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I can't believe it. Now it all makes sense. If you hear anyone ever talk about, oh, we just like shit talking, you just know that's their defense mechanism, guys. That's all it is. They got destroyed by it before in the past, so they created that as their defense mechanism. You guys are fucked. We figured out everything. See, even I do that against the spirits when they do their attacks against me. It's like I reclaim my freedom like that. But I'm talking to myself. I know they're listening though. But you guys see, like, can you explore without doing? Imagine if I like went outside and started yelling at people walking by, like, ah. Think of it like I use the example like I have a spoon, right? Think of it like it's like a spoon that's gonna stab your heart. Nope. I have all the answers. I know exactly how they do everything they do. There's even more. Just so you guys know, I got to this because I pieced together based on all the bad things that they were presenting. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know exactly now how they do it. There's more. Just so you guys know, there's so much more. There's so much more. If you guys think this is a lot, there's so much more. I'm like, whoa, that's how they do it. Wow. That's how they move our stories. And people are like, then why don't you share it to us? I'm like, maybe one day I will. I can. I don't know if it's the right play. Why? Because I know that there was a time period where I did do that. Because I was extremely mad at them for destroying my life, for making me lose faith in everything. And what I'm telling all of you is I got consumed. It doesn't mean that all the knowledge was great. All of it was powerful. It was healing. I always found a way to still remain light, always, just so people know. And that's not easy. Most of us, this is how we get, they bait us down the path of revenge like this. And I'm saying I always fought it, but it's still, I'm like, it was just, what we talk about matters. What we decipher, what we figure out matters. If I right now did a stream about that topic that I know can basically has the spoon to their neck and could decapitate them, I know that it's going to change my recency, my focus, and it's going to make me a lot more pessimistic, have less faith in the world. Because I'm like, I see now all the attacks. You see, like I'm focused on the attacks. I'm focused on how they do it. And it's good knowledge, but it becomes that. And I realized that if I talk about that extensively, so that's just my cycle of revenge. If I just talk about the negative, like the solution of how to do it, how to defeat them, and then it consumes us. And that's how we lose faith in the world. All of you guys think that that's the answer. And I'm like, it's not. I just think about everyone, all the families that have issues and people are fighting against, like, the families that are sisters, brothers, all this stuff. That's how they do it. I'm telling you guys, it's just, you can create it, like you write it out, like you can piece it all together. I'm like, oh, this is a path. I'm like, no, we're not going to do it. I'm like, I have all this knowledge. I'm not going to share it right now. I'm not. One day maybe I will. Maybe I'll sprinkle parts of it in, and maybe one day I will. Doesn't matter. But it's how they make us lose faith. Because it protects, just so you guys know, you regain control of the narrative. Because you have all the answers now. You're like, aha, if anyone learns this, they can defeat you. I'm telling you guys, it has to be for good. Good intent, healing, guiding. And that's how I started too before, guys, just so you know. I'm like, I have all the answers. I'm going to heal you. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help other people be protected. That was correct. But when you're so focused on the negative attacks, what ends up happening is there's still the answer, just so people know. Most of you guys aren't at this point where you're always trying to heal people. You guys are actually doing it for revenge. I'm saying I only healed people with it, and it still wasn't the best play. Because it then would consume me. So what is so you create your path, how to fight back. So I'm like, okay, how do they actually control our stories? I figured it out. I wrote it out. I could do a full stream on it. And I'm telling you guys, if anyone listens to it, they'll immediately catch it in their life. 100% guaranteed. There's no way anyone wouldn't. And they can change things. But I'm like, it's also really, it's messed up, because then you'll never see anything ever again the same way. I was like, do I really want people to experience that right now? You know what? Let's explore this. And that's what actually led to all this instead, because then I kept exploring it. I'm like, can I deviate it a little bit to come up with helpful? And both would be helpful, but make it even more positive, make it more healing, make it more guidey. So this leads me to, you see, like, I solved it, right? I'm like, I feel better. But what as it was it that actually then made me feel better? I'm like, okay, I created the answer, but I didn't talk about it. So why do I actually feel better? What I realize is that we can solve problems in different ways, because that's the solution, right? I'm like, that's how we solve the problem. Okay. I'm like, how else can we solve the problem? By giving up. Hey guys, I'm never going to be able to take another sip of coffee again. No, there's no more coffee in the world. Oh, well, I guess then I give up. Do you guys see that it's not a problem anymore? Once we give up, it's just not a problem anymore. They weaponize caring. They weaponize the solution. Because it is the solution, right? You guys figured it out. But then it's like, wait a minute. Now I need to get that one right. Now I need to do all that. You see, like, now all these other variables start presenting. I'm saying, what if we just give up? I'm like, you know what? Nah. I'm not going to discuss that. I'm not going to stream that. I'm not going to heal about that. I'm not going to, nope. I don't need it anymore. All of a sudden, everything feels better. Immediately, you're like, whoa, what happened? And then you tie it to the next thing, which is, can you guys deviate your timing? If I needed to talk about the coffee example that I just did right now, but I did it 1 minute ago, why? How can I do that? Like, do you guys see, like, if I need to do that, the timing right now, but I did it a different time, then there's no problem. When you have to do something at a specific time, problems occur. And I talk about this topic in depth in another one of my streams. You guys should go back and watch them. And I should re-listen to them once in a while. But we talk about this topic in depth. See how it all connects? If you can deviate your timing, there's just no problems. I'm like, okay, so I let's say I pieced together all this. By the way, guys, I pieced together all this knowledge a few days ago, and I've been reinforcing it. I've been doing other paths and exploring things, and there would have been other days where there probably would have been even a better performance on how I explained this. Just so you guys know, I had just recently done it. It was reinforced. It was repeated. I was positive. I was hopeful. Yet, I deviated. I waited. And I'm telling you guys, you heard what happened today. It was not a good day. Yet, today I had faith. Today I was willing to try. Today I proved that it doesn't matter what they present. And the last 2 days were complete self-destruction. So that means that I can go from 0 to 100, repeatable, despite anything. I don't need anything presented from them. I can create my own. And even then, I know I can do so through other ways too. I'm not relying on any one thing. That means I deviated my timing. I don't need this to be a certain way. I gave up the other day. And today I decided. Today, which was the word, like I used the example in another stream, which was like, hey, can you go on a walk the day it's snowing or raining, but you don't go when it's sunny? What? It doesn't matter. Can you? I mean, yeah, okay. Then there's no problems. Then you see then the rain and the snow isn't a problem. But if you can't, if you can only go outside when it's sunny, then problems happen. So, knowing what can be versus reality. think I'm just going to end the stream, guys. Bye. Just kidding. Wait. Some people will be like, no, I didn't even get to the answer. I mean, we kind of already did, but do you guys see, like, I know I can do more. If I just ended it right now, some of you guys would be like, think of it like the cliffhanger endings, right? Think of it like that, guys. It's like, no, you know what it can be. Or if you know what, like, you've seen my other streams and what I can accomplish, and you're like, why did this one turn out like this? Do you guys see? It's problems happen, and this is how they make us lose faith, right? The problems. When we know what something can be, but the reality is different. Because think of it like there's a clash, okay? Clash on a big bridge. Knowing what can be is one, and reality is the other. They're two angle lines that try to intersect. If they match, we can operate fine. But if reality surpasses knowing what can be, so it means that we're underperforming, that we know we can be the star. We can be the star diplomat, shepherd star. But we're down here. Then problems happen. So if you guys are piecing all what I'm saying together, you start realizing is that knowing what can be doesn't matter anymore. It's not easy. And there's some specific tactics that I'm going to get into here shortly that address exactly how, but see, it's now tactics, but it really is. It's just, it doesn't matter what it can be. Because we know how to create faith and belief regardless of what our reality is. But it's not easy, guys. This is, if you really boil it down to the root of everything, it's this. All of our problems, guys, in this world, all of ours, the reason why almost all of us don't have faith and don't have belief is because we know what it can be. In anything. That's why most of the time, our first experience should be without problems. Do you guys get it? I'm telling all of you, if anything you try for the first time, anything that you try for the first time, you are worried, you have fears, there's problems that you're paying attention to, that tells me that you got indoctrinated. Something installed those into you, because there is no way for you to know about the future problems before you even experience them unless someone told them to you up front. It's impossible. Just so you guys know. If right now, if none of you have ever played a video game before, and I say, hey guys, I want you guys to play Scarlet Nexus. I want you guys to see if you can make it to fight Karen Travers. Or play Doom Eternal and defeat the Final Sin. Some of you guys are like, I have no idea even what those words mean. I'm like, exactly. So you start playing. You might be tempted to ask me, like, hey, what should I be, like, look out for? What should I be worried about? I'm like, it doesn't matter, just play. There's no problem. There's no mistakes. Nothing can happen. If you die, just try again. It's cool. You got this. Oh, okay, cool. And you just play. Some of you might, when you start playing, you start losing. You're like, oh, help, I don't know what to do. I'm like, just keep going. What if I said, okay, guys, remember, 5 minutes in, there's going to be an enemy that shows up. You have to do this. Oh, okay. And then in 10 minutes in, another one pops up, and you have to use this one. You have to use, like, this. You have to use the whip. Like, oh, okay. So then when you're playing, you're like, has it been 5 minutes yet? Like, or is it the 10-minute part? Like, well, you see, like, now you're focused on something else. Like, you're worried about the potential problem that you were told about. Do you see, like, we know what it can be. But for most of you, if you've never played video games before, guys, you don't, and you don't have a lot of positives with it, you guys don't care at all. Like, you might play it and you're like, oh, I lost. Okay. I'll try again, because maybe I made you care, because, like, let's think it's like a girl that I'm dating. I made her care because I'm like, hey, I really enjoy video games. Could you want to try it? She's like, yeah, but she does it for me. Do you understand? So she might try again, but now you see that is the variable that matters. Knowing what can be versus reality is the problem. If I know that my girl, or just to give you guys an example, just for a pause for myself. If I know one girl got to enjoy that, and she learned with me, and she was open, she explored my culture, and she was willing to try foods and video games and my songs and stuff like that. Now, any future girl, I'm like, I know that there was a girl that was willing to do that. She was willing to explore with me. She was willing to try. She was willing to believe. I'm saying it doesn't matter, guys, because that's how problems are created. It just doesn't matter. Every single thing is its own thing. You have to go into it completely fresh, completely new. It does. Who cares? But it's the hardest thing to do. It's why we always have to move forward and explore new. But you guys understand how challenging it is, because the moment you know what can be, and usually it's not based on others, but it's usually based on ourselves, what we know we can achieve. And at any point, they create that deviation where it's just like, a problem happens immediately. It feels like one, even though it isn't. The moment we feel like, I know I can do better than what the reality is, a problem, a clash occurs. And the moment that happens, a problem is created. And for most of us, the moment a problem is created, we temporarily lose faith in the world. When we temporarily lose faith in the world, they present to us the bad. When they present to us the bad, all of us respond a set way. And when we respond a set way, we now create the response for everyone else who hasn't defeated it. So now all the storylines are happening exactly the way they want. All they have to do is create one guaranteed problem that deviates what you know is possible versus reality. They just have to make you feel like you're underperforming at all. This happens to anyone in anything they try. If they make any of you feel like you're underperforming based on what you know you can achieve, it's over, because then all of you respond and react exactly the same way based on the counter that makes you feel temporarily safe, either through an external or something else. And it's a set path, it's programmed, you always do the exact same thing. And then if they create negatives to other people around you, that's how they just create the chain reaction. You have to learn all this knowledge, and you must defeat this. So what is that? What is actually, we talked about solving, right? You can give up. You don't need things. You can deviate the timing, because then you're like, well, you know what? It doesn't matter if we lose. It doesn't matter. It's just an experiment. We're just learning, whatever. Who cares, right? Wrong. Because most of you have come to rely on excessive good to be happy, to feel like there are no problems. You need excessive good. So for example, right now, I need another German pastry. I need another sip of coffee. I need Mineralwasser, sparkling water. I can't even drink regular water anymore. Are all those things amazing? Do I like sparkling water more than regular water? Sure. But do I need it? No. They have made a situation for all of you where they create the problems, right? They create the deviation based on what you know can be. They just have to make you know that that's what it can be once or something like that. And then they just present bad. So you underperform. Not about others. We're not talking about at all about other people right now. We're talking about this is only self. So you all personally underperform in anything. Doesn't matter how severe or insignificant. And when that happens, then they make you create a counter or make you feel better or safe through an external. Like I said, sparkling water. Mineralwasser in Germany in Westheim. The laundry room. Yeah, Schnecke. Anyway, so you need that now. And the moment you have that, you feel safe. But what ends up happening is that then they're like, okay, we didn't expect that to protect him. Fine. Well, what if we escalate more? All of a sudden, they escalated. Now, the sparkling water helps, but you're like, it's not enough. You know what, guys? There's a second one, or there's sparkling water enhanced edition. It's not enough. The secret is removal of bad. We must remove bad. It doesn't matter how much good you have. It doesn't. Because bad, even just one reminder of bad for all of you, anything. Why did I pause? Because they just tried to remind me of bad. It doesn't matter. So how did I remove the bad? I just paused for a second. People are like, but isn't that a mistake? And I'm like, no, it's not. Because what did we say earlier? Oh, okay, I'm just gonna give up then. I'm just gonna deviate the timing. You guys see? Like, no problem. No problem at all. I'm telling you guys before, I would have had to go on like a 10-minute rant right now to deviate and to get back. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's put some sauce on our nose, right? Just kidding. You allow for mistakes. You learn, you pause. It's cool. No problem. You guys see like how solving works? We just have to remove the bad. I didn't even need excessive good. I didn't need a coffee. I didn't need my water. I didn't need any. I had some spoonfuls of salsa, but I didn't need it. I didn't need excessive good to counter the bad reminder that they tried to present. But I challenge all of you to think about like why you guys, if you look around where you live, like most of you have excess of things that you don't even use or need. And you got them because you thought you needed them. They made you believe that you did. And believe me, they helped you, or they have helped you, or they will help you. They do. But you realize, wait, we don't need all this stuff. Like, why did I need all this stuff? Why? I've done with less. I'm saying all we have to do, guys, is we have to figure out how to remove bad in whatever it is. It's as simple as, it's not bad for me right now, but I hear sounds outside, okay? Children playing. That makes me happy. That's a positive for me. But let's say what is negative for you guys. Some of you guys, it might be. Maybe it reminds you of like when you were a kid and you didn't get to play in the playground, okay? That's what they install in all of you. So when that happens, you guys hear the sounds, well then it's a negative. So how could you remove that? Many people, when that gets presented, now they're like, oh, okay, well, I need my cigar for more of mine. I need my mineral water. I need my coffee. I need all this stuff. I need to buy a new car. I'm like, you could just play music. You could go on a walk. You guys see? They make us believe that to solve our problems, we need excessive good. I'm saying you can solve your problems in many different ways, but what removes the bad? Normally, they try to attach to a money cost. I'm not saying that sometimes, unfortunately, in the current reality of the world, it is usually, there are things that it can solve. But that's also how we all got baited to consumption, through money. I'm saying there's other ways. And the best way is really to figure out a way to just remove it without needing anything. I'm like, could I rewrite it? Could I just listen to music? Could I just change paths temporarily? Could I understand? And this is where we're leading to, is like, could I understand what it is? How it functions? Why it does what it does, or why it operates that way, so that It doesn't destroy me anymore, so I don't need excessive good to counter it. I know that the good helps, but I don't need to now always do it. I'm telling you guys, I challenge all of you to explore this. The key to fighting back against when we know what we can achieve versus reality, right? They make us or when something is presented. To be happy, to be in a state of having faith in the world, the key is not excessive good. It's the removal of bad. The moment bad is gone, I'm telling all of you, everything changes immediately. The moment. Doesn't matter what it is. The moment bad is gone, it's night and day. It's that simple for all of us. We always think it's good. I'm telling you guys, the removal of bad is actually the answer to every single problem that plagues us. If there's no bad presented, you have no problems. Straight up, just so you guys know. It doesn't matter. People are like, no, I'm going to be worried about that. No, I promise all of you, if you just remove bad, you guys won't have problems. Because then what you're going to realize, though, is they're going to try to make things that you didn't consider bad before all of a sudden a problem. That's how you know you're winning. Because you're like, wait, that's not a bad thing. They're going to make you believe then all of a sudden that things are. That's how you know you guys are winning. Because if you're not getting baited down a path of excess and reliance on good to overcome the problems that they created for you, because now you're just like, no, or they're easy solutions. All of a sudden, I promise all of you that they create new bad. Where it wasn't ever bad before, all of a sudden that's a problem. And you're like, what the fuck? When did that happen? All right, let's keep moving. So what's next? What else can we do to regain faith in the world repeatedly? I call it the 1% progress destruction play. Invalidating efforts. We have to understand this. All right, this is understanding it. Because really what you guys are going to realize if you start listening to everything I'm saying, most of these tactics and most of these concepts aren't actually like, oh, that's how I will believe again. What they actually are is they're explaining how to understand how they create all the problems and how they make us lose faith and lose belief. Because now that we understand all that, how they do it A to B, and we have the answers now, it doesn't affect us anymore. It doesn't destroy us anymore. It doesn't mean that it's fun. It doesn't mean that it's enjoyable. But now, once you get it, once you see the door, or you see you looked at the maze from the top down, you're like, I see now. I get it. So then you can choose. So the 1% destruction play is called invalidating efforts. This one is weird because we always want to know that we've already touched upon it, but see, everything's kind of, we always want to know that we're making progress, that our efforts are paying off. And it's the easiest way they can create problems because they attach it, remember what I said, right, to excessive good, but to an external, right? Because we forget what our purpose is for each thing. So they attach it to an external progress metric, and they keep that progress metric away from you. So it doesn't seem like you're making any progress whatsoever. Or maybe you remember what I said? They make you think that you can achieve something. Like maybe one time you achieved, like, let's just use like, just for people and my old self, like likes or views or things of that nature. Like maybe one time you got 15,000 views on a video, and then now all the other ones get 20. Do you guys understand? You're like, well, I know I can achieve 15,000. Why am I only getting 20? Easiest way to create problems and destroy you over and over again. Do you guys see how they do it? All they have to do is give you one like that, and then they can destroy you permanently. Because it invalidates your efforts. You're like, wait a minute, but I know I can do that. I know I can defeat or overcome this thing quickly or easily. Why is nothing happening? Why is nothing progressing? Why are we not getting further and further and further? If you can't see results, and then in every direction, remember back in the dark forest, we look, there's only bad, well then, problems. You're destroyed. But I'm telling you guys, this is how they make us lose faith. Because we think then we haven't walked further. Or like, aren't we in the same spot in the forest? We haven't made any progress whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, guys, if we rewind right now, this video, I'm Karen Travers, and I think we talked about the forest about the 1 hour mark. If you've been following along all this time and taking notes and deciphering and deconstructing and trying to piece all this together, I'm telling you guys, if you rewatch from that point to now, you're going to hear these concepts again and things, and you're like, ah, yeah, yep, oh, yeah. Now you're going to see the same things differently. And these are things that you've heard maybe for the first time just 2 hours ago, and now if you're re-listening to it, you're already going to see it differently. Do you guys understand? That means you already made, whoever's listening to this, you already made progress. And yet, you're like, what? No, I didn't. Like, no, I haven't made any progress. And I'm like, you have. That's called the 1% progress destruction play. They try to make you think, invalidate your efforts by attaching to external that you can grade. You can never grade yourself that way, ever. It's so difficult because it's the easiest guaranteed way so that you never have faith in the world if you attach anything to external. External does not matter. So how can we defeat corruption per thing, right? Because that means that we're not getting provoked. We're not getting consumed. Anything that you use, guys, that helps you. So I used like the German pastry earlier. I used like the salsa as a way to also slow down and just wait for the bad to pause and go away. Or let's say, like I said, I use music to drown out the sound of the kids playing in the playground, even though it's a positive for me. Well, what you're going to realize is all of a sudden, like, maybe I take a bite of the German pastry this time and it like tastes bitter. I'm like, why is it not sweet? Or maybe I listen to the music right now and all of a sudden they play ads and there's never been an ad in this music video before. And I hate ads because, by the way, they present info through them to try to poison us and change our recency and remind us of the past. So I'm like, you guys see, like, all of a sudden that's a corruption per thing. And what you guys are going to realize is it's every single thing. Anything that helps you, anything that you use as a lesson, anything that you use to guide, anything that you use to heal, anything you use to get faith and belief. For most of you, that's how they consume you guys, to the external, right? And to the excessive good. Every single thing, guys. And I call this our shields. Anything that you use, I promise you, anything, you guys are like, how is this possible? This is why I said we're all experiencing the same reality, it's just different variables. The severity is different, but it's all the same. Anything you guys use that helps you, anything, I promise you, they've infiltrated and they've corrupted. Anything. So if you stop doing something, or if you don't do something as much, or if you feel hesitant to do it when you didn't before, it's because they inserted their corruption. They found a way to have negative reminders or present the things that make you lose faith in the world. And they get their tendrils in everything, guys. I'm telling you, there's the most unsuspecting ways. And that's what I talked about earlier, where I was like, I created like my fight back method, like how to defeat evil. I was going to expose all the ways to do it. And I'm like, you know what, guys? That's not today's topic. It's not. But I want you guys to understand that every single thing that you guys use today or have that helps you in any way whatsoever, you need to be aware that they are going to try to corrupt it. Every single thing. Which means that you have to defeat every single thing that you use today that helps you. Every single thing. And if you're not aware of how they tried, you best bet either you got fortunate and you defeated it, or you're not aware. They had poison in other ways through random areas. It's insane once you see all the things that they did. I'm telling you guys, it's everywhere. Could be the vessel that you use to consume information. Could be objects. Could be words. Could be music. Could be sounds, scents. Everything. They use everything. Anything that tries to bring back reminders of the things that can make you lose faith in the world, right? That you consider are the evil. So sometimes you find easy ways to defeat it. Like I'm telling you guys, if I can just play music and drown out the sound, well, you guys see that counters it. But not everything is that easy. Not everything is that easy. And that's why you have to learn all these things, guys, that I've been telling you guys. It's just removal of bad. But it's a battle. Once you learn this, once you're healed, watch my other videos. Once you're free, once you can choose your response, once you understand all of these things, how A to Z connects, then there are no problems. You're not worried. You don't respond based on those things. Then you can choose, like, you still know that you need to deviate, right? You don't need to do something, but you can, I'm listening to the song right now, and they literally played 20 ads in a row. Like, I wanted to see if I can resist one or two. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, wow, they really are putting a lot of poison here. You know what? I should change videos, or maybe I should just mute, or maybe I should just YouTube download or some songs and listen to music without ads. Do you guys get it? Like, you have to figure it out. It's necessary. It's necessary. So let's talk about an example that I think can make people realize why we get, because I said we can't do provoked or consumed. And I want to talk about very shortly the cockroach experiment. So I've befriended cockroaches. I think they're awesome. I call them my pets, but they're not. We're equals. I consider myself an equal to a cockroach. And they're super unique. Some of you guys, by the way, this part is going to blow your mind. You guys are just not going to be able to understand this at all. And that's okay. You're not there yet. They're super unique. Each one of them is a little different. But they have skill sets that have impressed me because I've really started learning and interacting with them. And I realized that the cockroach experiment is, think of it like you just create a safe haven for cockroaches. You protect them. And people are like, why would you do that? I'm like, well, why wouldn't you? You guys see, like, that already is a deviation. You guys go that way, I go this way. I'm like, why guys wouldn't you protect them? They're like, well, they're pests. And I'm like, why? Who put that info into your head? You remember what I said, guys? If it's the first time you're experiencing something, why would you guys think that that's a problem unless someone told you? Like, well, they try to take your food. I'm like, oh, well, maybe. But then you're like, wait a minute. What if you gave them food? Would they still try to take yours? I'm like, maybe once in a while, but like, is that actually a problem? They don't actually need a lot. Have you guys actually seen how much food they need? They don't actually need a lot of food. They're satisfied with crumbs. I'm saying, what I've come to realize, guys, is we all evolve based on the bad we experience, okay? People say, like, yeah, duh. But I'm like, no, really think about it, guys. The things that they've created in each and every one of you, repeatedly, throughout the story that they keep presenting to all of you, nonstop, forced for you to experience and see, and they try to remind you of, is what they've created us to evolve against, just so people understand. It's real. And that's why I said, I that's one of the reasons why I lost faith, because I'm like, oh, I don't want this bullshit to be my story anymore. Like, I've already solved it. I've passed. There's like 5, 6, 7 things, right? Each of us have. It's not just one, but there's about 5, 6, 7. I'm like, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Like, you see, even I'm getting a little annoyed right now just thinking about it. I'm like, it's so stupid. It really is, because it's just wrong. It's like, hey, 2 + 3 is 5. But someone else keeps saying, oh, remember the one time you said 2 + 3 is 7? Oh. And that's our entire life, each and every one of us, permanently, forever. They keep telling us the one time we said it was 7, and you're like, fuck you guys. You're like, but you see, like, we start getting consumed, we start getting provoked. So I'm saying that's what happens to cockroaches. It's easier for us to conceptualize through other things. And I'm saying it happens to cockroaches. From day one, they're told that they're a pest, that they are bad, that they are a problem. So they've evolved, their behavior, their actions have evolved because of that. So what I realized is that cockroaches actually prefer to go, they're guerrilla warfare units. They're free, they can explore, but they can navigate almost anything. They can climb walls, they're fast, they can stealth, they use their tentacles, they can sense things in a distance, their antennas. They know when food and water is appreciated. Do you guys know that cockroaches actually do want to drink a little bit of water every so often? They do care about that. But what I realize is that all of a sudden, if you don't hunt them, if you give them some food and some water, and you give them a safe area, I actually realized that the cockroaches, they can grab things and they can move things closer. They create like a family unit. They create a little community for each other. They stick together. And they bring the food closer for all the little ones to have, so the little ones don't have to go exploring as far. And I realized that they share. They don't compete. They don't mind. They share. But some of them still explore. There's still some that like try to go further away, right? Because what I realize is that they don't want to be close to the nest because they don't want to bring danger, because since they were day one built to be threats, pests, they don't want to bring attention to their nest. So they tend to go farther away to try to find scraps to eat, because then if one of them gets caught over there as a guerrilla warfare unit, nothing happens. But I'm saying the moment you provide them some of that, all of a sudden they're still exploring. They still try. They still navigate. They walk around. They experience things. But now they're a family. Now they don't actually care about taking someone else's food anymore, because they're not worried about getting it anymore. You see, like, the bad was removed. They're not worried about dying, about being attacked, about being called a pest. Do you guys see, like, if from day one we're told like something is bad, or we're hunted, or we're the enemy, naturally we create the evolution and the storyline that's going to happen. And I'm saying, where is this happening, guys? Everywhere in our life, from day one. But it's also happening for things that we're said are good. I'm not going to get baited right now, but I just want people to understand AI. Just think about it there, guys. It's the same thing. But this is how we get baited to evolve for each one of us. It's lessons to figure out for us to overcome, but it's also meant to destroy us. It's the cockroach experiment. I'm telling you guys, cockroaches don't need to be pests. They don't have to be. We could literally create a cockroach community for them in anywhere, in every city. And I'm telling you guys, they don't need a lot. Yet today, almost every human considers them the worst enemy in the world and a pest. Think about that one, guys. So this takes me back to, we know something is possible. And what we can achieve and how we can achieve it. That's how all the problems happen. I know that people could learn to respect cockroaches and befriend them and think that they're more than what they are and that they're not a problem. But do you guys see, like, I know that now because I've done it. And I see that these things are actually, they're living creatures that are good. We were told from day one that they're a problem, and they're not. Yet, I do want people to understand one thing here. If they were made to be a problem for you, so what do I mean by that? Like, there's some things in our life, guys, that were created to be our poison. Each and every one of us have some. The cockroaches are always going to be hunted right now. Maybe in 100 years from now, humanity and the world as a whole will change their view on them. But as of up till now, and it's going to change from this point forward, cockroaches are going to be respected and realize they're awesome. They really are. They have so many skills. They're incredible creatures. I can't wait to see what we could create with them. I try to figure out more to do with them every day. But since I was a kid, I had bad experience with cockroaches, do you guys understand that it doesn't matter? If I actually had bad experiences and they got reinforced, it doesn't matter. It always will be a bad, and I need to avoid it. Always. There's nothing that you can still, you have to learn how to control your response to it. That's necessary. But do you guys get it? It's always going to be a poison. It's always going to be bad. There's nothing you guys can do. It was made to happen. If cockroaches now all of a sudden are like, hey, we can now say hello to every single human, well, then they're going to get hurt. Humans are their poison. We are cockroaches' poison. Do you guys understand? We are cockroaches' poison. Humans are the poison to cockroaches. Think about that, guys. And they created it by day one telling us that they are pests to us. And they're not. They just don't understand how to get food by themselves. because that's how they were created from day one. All their skill sets developed from that, on how to scavenge and how to encounter things and salvage things and find things. We got this. So, guiding is one of the cures. That's why I want all of you guys to learn all this knowledge, and why I encourage all of you to be a parent and have kids, or guide a pet, or do something like this. Teach your knowledge. But what you're going to realize is that the moment you start, you're going to get baited to excess, just like everything, right? And it's real because it works. It heals us. But when you start getting baited to excess, you start getting pushed things on what to do. And then you can't slow down anymore because you feel like you need to do things. And I'm telling you guys, then we can't deviate anymore because then we have to do things. But once you realize, like, it's okay if we miss things. We've already talked about all this stuff. We're just reinforcing it one last time. I'm like, then you're calm. Like I have a 4-hour limit that I put for myself, not because I need to, but because I think it's a great stopping point. And I'm calm. I'm like, there's so much that I didn't cover. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Guiding without excess. We've talked about it throughout this entire thing. Everything that I'm doing, guys, is the answer. The slowdown play, guys. I'm telling you guys, for me, I'm just like, there's a beautiful blonde girl that just I see right now, and exploring her entire world. I'm like, whoa. I just feel, I'm like, what's your world? I'm like, show me. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I could get lost there. And that's all, like, you just calm. You're just like, guys, anything you guys do from here on out, just slow down. Anything. Doesn't matter if you're running out of time. Just slow down. Even slow down more. I'm like, hey guys, I only have 7 minutes left, and I'm slowing down even more. Just relaxed. Almost all the problems go away then. Remember I said the removal of bad, because if you don't have to, there's no need, there's no time. Even if I put an arbitrary limit on myself that I don't have to respect, I'm like, whoa. Yeah. So when you slow down, what you guys are going to realize is you're willing to explore. And when you're willing to explore, you're willing to experiment. This is what I encourage all of you to do from now on, whenever you guys have a problem in anything that you guys are trying to solve, right? Because remember I said giving up, being able to deviate, but sometimes you also can solve the bad, right? Remember, it's not about excess good, it's about solving the bad. And to do so, you can figure it out through experimentation. But it's like you have to decipher, like, okay, when I do this, what happens? 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 And just like start writing it out, like either on your phone or like on a notepad or something, and start trying to like see, like, okay, well, I'm going to try this time. And intention choosing not to do optimal and seeing how you feel. And you're like, ooh, they presented some good here, so they presented some bad here, but ooh, this feels really good. I'm like, yeah, I want to get lost in that girl's path again. I really do. But really, the goal is, it's just, you want to think. Right, guys? I'm like, hey, guys, why would cockroaches, when they feel safe, create a family unit and share? But when they are hunted, they don't do that. That question makes you guys think, and that is exactly how you solve all the problems. Because then you're like, well, how could we do something there? Could we figure that out? So what does this all come down to, guys? If we have no problems, or we have no problems, if we understand, I've hit on this so many times, but I wanted to make you guys really realize this. If you understand how we get from A to Z in everything, and we have the answers, then there's no more problems. Just think about it like this, guys. The kid example, right? I told you I'm going to punch the kid versus he gets punched outside. It's different. It's not a problem then. If you know and you have the answer, it's not a problem. Small problems, guys, the regular stuff, they're there only to distract us and to change our focus, to lower our resistance. Just think of it like this, guys. We're in an island. I'm going to call it Hasselay. And all the men got enslaved by the empire. It's like some imperials, or think of like the slavers in Egypt. They all got enslaved, they all got taken. and they have to create a mechanical city, and they have no chance anymore to create life with their families. All the women are going to be sad and scared, right? And the kids are going to be without a dad. So if you guys explore that village, what you guys are going to realize that all the villagers care about small problems now. They're like, oh, I'm worried about my flower. I'm worried about my cow. I'm worried about... And it's because being distracted by that changes their focus. And I'm saying that's the bait, guys, because now it consumes them and protects them. When they're worried about that, they're protected. But what it actually is doing is lowers their resistance, because now anything else that's even slightly more of a problem than that, like what became their main focus, their main problem, that makes them forget that they lost their husband or their dad. Now all the women in this village, if anything actually bad happens, they're completely consumed. They lose all faith in the world. Small problems are the bait. Test it out, guys. So really what it means is, it doesn't mean that there's not bad guys or that our reality isn't horrible. It's just we figured out now how to not have problems. So let's end with this, right? We haven't solved it. It's just not a problem anymore, because now we understand. Now we see. We can give up. We can deviate. We can choose. Right? We talked about it earlier, the effort play. When we see everything, at any point we can just go from 0 to 100, because now we understand it. We see what lies beyond the door. So let's finish here, guys. Can we regain faith in the world that is trying to destroy us, despite now we know what our reality can be? Something much better. So that's the problem. Well, this, guys, is your proof. I'm doing this after some of my worst 2 days of my life. I'm telling you, it was horrible. I self-destructed myself intentionally, but they also baited me. And I was just like, I hate my reality. And yet now I'm doing this, and I feel good. And I got a lot of problems presented, and yet they weren't problems. It's the effort play. We added a few positive shields, and that's it. We managed to do this, and we succeeded. So, can we never forget, guys, our reality, what it actually is, but yet operate at the same time as if it's different? As we have faith, as we believe? What do you guys think? Can we not forget our reality, but operate differently? I'm saying it's a choice. I already got the answer way before this stream, but I'm telling you guys it's a choice. Once we're healed, once we've deconstructed everything, once we figured it all out, once we understand A to Z, we can slow down, we're calm. There's no more problems. It's a choice. You guys are going to choose differently than I am, but I'm saying I can now. I can regain faith. But do we operate? Do we believe? Now that I've done everything, it's worth it. If this is the game that we're forced to play, it's better to play it healed